Hello everyone, this is Top Romance Novels. Before watching the video, please take 3 seconds to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This will give me more motivation to create more high-quality videos. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful day. At the beginning of the story, the soul of our female lead, by Xiao Xiao, falls from the sky into a new space. Just as she is falling, a voice rings out, speaking to her. By Xiao Xiao, you must remember your mission. Find the anomaly in this space-time and correct it. As soon as the mysterious voice faded, Bai Xiao Xiao's soul gradually merged into the body of a woman from ancient times. After entering that body, Bai Xiao Xiao was still in free fall. Bai Xiao Xiao opened her eyes at this moment, looked down, and seeing that it seemed bottomless, she asked in frustration, "Haven't I reached the bottom yet?" After that, Bai Xiao Xiao just kept spinning around in the space. She was gradually sucked into a hall. Inside that hall, Bai Xiao Xiao saw below her a coffin in which a man was lying as if in a deep sleep. Bai Xiao Xiao immediately fell right into that crystal coffin. After landing, Bai Xiao Xiao sat up, holding her head. She looked down at the man lying inside the coffin and exclaimed, "An unparalleled beauty. This is a coffin, so this is..." Bai Xiao Xiao was startled and thought to herself, This is a handsome man sleeping in a coffin. Could he be a corpse? So beautiful." Realizing she was in a coffin, Bai Xiao Xiao immediately jumped out, bowed her head, and said to the person inside, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb your rest." But then, out of curiosity, Bai Xiao Xiao bravely peeked in to look at the appearance of the person in the coffin, saying, "This is what they call lifelike in the legends." Then Bai Xiao Xiao took off her outer robe, thinking to herself, why do I suddenly feel so hot? What is this feeling, this desire? It's not scientific. Although this handsome man is truly beautiful, I shouldn't become such a lecher. To be so greedy that I can't control myself like this. Bai Xiao Xiao thought this, wanted to calm down, but she couldn't. Then, Bai Xiao Xiao took off her dress and cried out, "I can't control it at all. It's like I've been poisoned or something. It must be that when I transmigrated, this body's desires wanted to erupt." Her rationality gradually disappeared. She made a move on the man inside the coffin, saying, "This handsome man, heaven is my witness. I'm really not doing this on purpose, but I just can't hold it in anymore." Bai Xiao Xiao had lost all reason at this point. Her current state was that of a lustful woman who hadn't been satisfied for a month, and she began to undress the man lying in the coffin. Just then, the man in the coffin, who was none other than Nanjiao Yuang, opened his eyes and woke up. Seeing her taking liberties with him, he cursed, "Scoundrel! Bastard!" He pushed her face away, thinking to himself, to think she would take advantage of my poison flaring up to do this to me. At this moment, Bai Xiao Xiao's mouth uttered. Nanjiao Yuang frowned and cursed. "Damn it, the arrow is on the bowstring and must be fired." Nanjiao Yuang's face was flushed red. He began to move beneath her. While doing so, he panted and cursed. "Damn it, this is bad. I can't suppress this poison." Lying in the coffin, Bai Xiao Xiao let out a cry of pleasure. A passionate night passed. Bai Xiao Xiao gradually woke up. She sat up abruptly, holding her head and saying, "My head hurts so much. What on earth did I?" Bai Xiao Xiao looked at Nanjiao Yuang beside her and was so startled her eyes nearly popped out. She cried out, "Oh my God, what on earth did I do? I didn't even spare a corpse." With a final shred of decency, Bai Xiao Xiao neatly dressed Nanjiao Yuang again, then put on her own clothes and ran off, thinking to herself, "A million apologies. I was truly framed by a villain. My back hurts a lot too. I shouldn't have resisted. It's my fault. Your Excellency, please don't hold it against a lowly person like me." Bai Xiao Xiao leaned against a wall, stopped, and cried out, "I'm dizzy. It seems like a memory is gradually appearing in my head." She tried to remember, asking, "Who am I? Where am I?" Whose memory is returning. The memories of this body gradually returned, appearing in her mind. "I am Bai Xiao Xiao, the legitimate daughter of Diguang City's general by Iran. Unfortunately, my mother passed away early. My father was seduced by a vixen. Her stepmother at that time took her father's arm and led him away. General, come to my place so we can have a little chat." She even glanced back to warn Bai Xiao Xiao. Bai Iran heard this and said, "Is a little chat enough? It'll surely turn into half an incense stick's time." Bai Xiao continued to remember. With no one to love me and no one to protect me, I could only turn my sorrow into appetite. I didn't even realize it when someone drugged me with an aphrodisiac and threw me off a cliff. Who would care about an unbearable child like me? At this moment, Bai Xiao walked out from the cliff, stood on the mountaintop, and said with a cold laugh, I will make those who bullied me receive their punishment. You bunch of scumbags will have to face a beautiful girl from the 21st century. Tremble in fear. Then she burst into loud laughter. But as soon as she took a step, she immediately slipped and fell on the ground with a cry. Game over. Bai Xiao was suddenly attracted by the herbs next to where she fell and thought to herself, there's actually honeysuckle here. This will be perfect to bring back and stage a good show. Then, Bai Xiao started walking down the mountain, intending to return home, sighing as she walked. Diguang City. With these short legs of mine, when on earth will I get there? At that moment, a horse-drawn carriage was approaching. Seeing this, Bai Xiao's eyes lit up. She waved the carriage down and said, Excuse me, are you heading to Diguang City? Could you give me a ride? Hong Xiu, sitting inside, held her sword and asked, Who are you? Do you know who we are? You must have the guts of a leopard to dare block our carriage. Although Hong Xiu said that, the master of the carriage still let Bai Xiao on. The clumsy Bai Xiao was about to climb into the carriage. Seeing this, Hong Xiu told her, You could just sit outside. Inside the carriage, Feng Miran said. Hong Xiu, invite her inside. Hearing Feng Miran say this, although Hong Xiu was reluctant, she still frowned and replied yes. As soon as Bai Xiao entered and saw Feng Miran's face, she exclaimed, So handsome. Hello, handsome. My name is Bai Xiao. A pleasure to meet you. She reached out to shake Feng Miran's hand. Feng Miran smiled and said, Miss, you are quite amusing. My surname is Feng. The moment Bai Xiao saw the handsome man, her eyes lit up. Her favorability of him shot up as she thought to herself, So handsome and suave. A true lady killer. She then asked, Mr. Feng. Oh no, young Master Feng. Hello. At this time, the wheels continued to roll. Feng Miran curiously asked her, I wonder which part of Diguang City Miss Xiao is from. Bai Xiao replied, The General's Manor, although my appearance might seem a bit unreliable. Hearing this, Feng Miran said, Miss Xiao is both lively and lovely. Why must you be so concerned with your appearance? To be able to meet Miss Xiao is my Feng's honor. I truly admire you. Before Feng Miran could finish, he started coughing. He raised his hand to cover his mouth and coughed. Seeing this, Hong Xiu worriedly came closer and asked, Mr. Feng, what's wrong? At this moment, Feng Miran's lips had turned black. Seeing this, Bai Xiao said to Feng Miran, I see the space between your eyebrows has darkened and your lips are purple. You might be poisoned. Let me check your pulse. Feng Miran asked in surprise. Miss, you know medicine? She reached out to touch Feng Miran's pulse. I know a little. Seeing this, Hong Xiu thought angrily to herself, This woman dares to be so forward with the master. Hong Xiu cried out, Mr. Feng. Feng Miran just kept smiling at Bai Xiao. After checking the pulse, Bai Xiao spoke. Heavens above, what kind of bizarre poison is this? A mixture of more than 10 toxins. They are all invading and corroding your internal organs. With a face as beautiful as yours, it's no wonder people would be jealous and hateful. Who did you offend for them to be so vicious? Feng Miran replied, I haven't offended anyone. It's just that I often come into contact with these poisons. Does Miss Xiao have a way to cure it? Bai Xiao replied, I didn't expect Mr. Feng to have an interest in testing poisons. It can be treated, but it would be for nothing if you continue to test poisons. Take off your shirt. I'll help you with acupuncture to suppress the poison's effects first. Hearing this, Hong Xiu was stunned. Bai Xiao turned back and asked Hong Xiu, Do you have needles? Hong Xiu frowned and said, Miss Xiao, please have some self-respect. Hearing this, Bai Xiao thought to herself, Big sister, please. I'm already being very serious. Okay? I just want to give Mr. Feng some acupuncture. Why is your mind so dirty? Huh? Hong Xiu frowned and said, Even a quack doctor always carries needles with him. You don't even have needles, and you have the nerve to say you know medicine. Feng Miran warned. Hong Xiu, mind your own business. Hong Xiu nodded and replied yes. Hong Xiu warned Bai Xiao, If you dare to mess around, you're dead. Bai Xiao thought to herself, If I don't treat him, at most, he'll be dead in 3 months. If I wanted him dead, I wouldn't need to lift a finger. Feng Miran took out a wooden box. Inside were incredibly shiny acupuncture needles. Seeing them, Bai Xiao exclaimed, It's blinding my eyes. Feng Miran smiled and said to Bai Xiao, There are only 2 sets of these needles in the world. I wonder if they are to Miss Xiao Xiao's liking. Bai Xiao Xiao pulled out a needle and said with a smile, "You're flattering me." Feng Miran replied, "Not at all, as long as Miss Xiao Xiao is not afraid." Hearing this, Bai Xiao Xiao froze. Then, Feng Miran took off his shirt. On his body was a tattoo of an eagle. Bai Xiao Xiao looked at Feng Miran's body and thought to herself, "I never expected young Master Feng to look so gentle on the outside, but be the true underworld boss on the inside. And my childhood dream was to be the wife of an underworld boss." Bai Xiao Xiao cleared her throat and said, "I'll begin the acupuncture now. This spot is a bit sensitive, so don't move." Then, Bai Xiao Xiao immediately inserted the needle into Feng Miran's body. The moment he was pricked, Feng Miran cried out in pain. Bai Xiao Xiao continued, "Bear with it for a moment. I'll try to be gentler." Hong Xiu was now sitting outside the carriage. Hearing this sound, her face immediately darkened. After a while, the carriage arrived at the gates of Diguang City. Bai Xiao Xiao had also finished the acupuncture. Feng Yiran put on his robe and saw Bai Xiao Xiao off. Hong Xiu stood by his side, her face flushed because she had heard the sounds Feng Yiran made the entire way. Feng Yiran smiled and said to Bai Xiao Xiao, "The city gate is ahead. I am heading out of the city. I must bid farewell to Miss Xiao Xiao here." She smiled and replied, "Mr. Feng, thank you so much. If I had walked here by myself, it would have been pitch dark by now." Feng Yiran bowed and said, "I'm the one who should be thanking you. Thanks to you, Miss, my body is much better. Miss Xiao Xiao, I will remember this kindness. In the future, if you need anything, please find me." Bai Xiao Xiao then asked, "We are friends, sir. You're being too polite. Removing the poison still requires further acupuncture. How do I find you?" Hearing this, Hong Xiu gritted her teeth and thought to herself, "She really has lustful intentions. I knew it. She wouldn't leave so easily." Feng Yiran gave her a token and said, "This is my token. If you need me, miss, just go to the Tinyan. Give the token to the manager, and he will know how to find me. As for the detoxification, when I have time, I will send someone to the general's manor to find you." With that, Feng Yiran left. Bai Xiao Xiao waved. "See you again." She thought to herself, "What a good person. If I were a bit thinner and prettier, I'd be confident enough to bring him into my harem." Then she turned back and walked into the city. The people in the city were stunned when they saw her. Seeing this, she also fell silent. The people in the city immediately ran off, saying, "We've seen a ghost in broad daylight." They screamed. Seeing this, Bai Xiao Xiao was extremely puzzled. She returned to the general's manor. At that moment, someone was mourning, "My little sister, Bai Xiao Xiao. Why did you have to die so tragically?" Bai Xiao Xiao caught a piece of joss paper that flew by and said, "Bai Xiao Xiao, that seems to be me." Bai Xiao Xiao approached the general's manor. The moment Bai Qianqian saw Bai Xiao Xiao return, she was stunned and startled. She screamed, "A walking corpse." Then Bai Qianqian stood up in fear and ran away, shouting as she ran, "You ghost, don't come over here." Seeing this, Bai Xiao Xiao thought to herself, "This woman looks familiar. She seems to be someone related to the original owner of this body." Bai Xiao Xiao recalled the memories. First revenge target, Bai Qianqian, the eldest daughter of a concubine in the Bai family, who often bullied the original owner. She recalled the general once telling Bai Qianqian, "Qianqian, you must take good care of your younger sister." On the surface, Bai Qianqian bowed, "Yes, father." But afterward, she smiled with a cold expression as she looked at Bai Xiao Xiao, "That I will definitely take good care of my younger sister." Inside the ancestral hall, the servants were crying and wailing. "Young miss, you died so tragically." "Young miss, why did you have to pass away in the end?" Bai Xiao Xiao walked in, saw this, and thought to herself, just how many people were hoping for me to die? Bai Xiao Xiao then shouted, "Stop crying." All the servants heard her voice, were stunned, and turned their heads. Bai Qianqian pointed at Bai Xiao Xiao and scolded, Are you a ghost? Little sister, you are already dead. Don't cling to this world anymore. Rest in peace." Bai Xiao Xiao said to her, "I'm not a ghost. Touch me and see, my body is still warm." Bai Qianqian shouted, This ghost dares to cause trouble. Everyone, tie her up and burn her. We can't let her wreak havoc in the Bai family." Hearing this, the servants immediately grabbed ropes and torches and said, "Surrender without a fight." Bai Xiao Xiao let out a cry. She looked at the coffin and thought, "Don't panic. I have to prove that the person in the coffin is not me." Bai Xiao Xiao quickly dodged the servants, ran towards the coffin, and opened the lid of the coffin. Looking at the body inside, she thought, They even disfigure my face. Was it necessary to hate me that much? Bai Xiao said, everyone come and see. The material of the corpse's clothes is not from the Bai manor at all. She just has a similar appearance to me. The surrounding servants said, that makes sense. I'm convinced. That's right. The materials of the Bai manor aren't that poor. Could it really be the young miss? The young miss isn't dead. Hearing this, Bai Qian thought to herself, is this still the Bai Xiao who is easy to scold, easy to beat, and endured all hardships? Bai Xiao asked, Bai Qian, can you explain where this corpse came from? Bai Qian exclaimed this. Just then, a person walked in and said, Bai Xiao, you faked your death to elope with your lover for a day and a night before returning. You truly have no shame. In Bai Xiao's memory, it appeared. Second revenge target, Ouyang Xingtian, the original owner's fiancé, who was in cahoots with Bai Qian. He walked in and asked Bai Qian, are you all right? Bai Qian nodded, then walked over to Bai Xiao and glared at her, pulling her away and saying, all right, Xingtian, it's good that little sister is safe and sound. Don't be angry. Perhaps there's some misunderstanding in this matter. Hearing this, Bai Xiao thought to herself, oh my god, this little girl turns out to be so two-faced. Just then, Bai Yiran walked in and asked what's going on. Ouyang Xingtian bowed to him. Bai Qian exclaimed, Father, little sister Xiao isn't dead. She has returned. Ouyang Xingtian immediately pointed at Bai Xiao and said, General, I heard that Xiao found a substitute to fake her death in order to elope with someone else. Just now, Qian even thought she was dead. General, you must punish her. After hearing this, Bai Yiran angrily scolded, Bai Xiao, you unfilial daughter, kneel down for me at once. Hearing this, Bai Xiao thought to herself, trying to act against me? I'll show you the power of Meryl Streep. She sighed, knelt down, clung to Bai Qian's leg, and cried out, Father, older sister, you have no idea how much danger I've just been through. Bai Qian shouted, let go. Let go of me. She thought to herself, as if I'd let go. Bai Xiao continued to cry and say, older sister's maid, Xiao Chui, told me that father had a fever and that I had to pick herbs from Mount Bodhi to cure him. I really went to pick herbs for father. Hearing this, Bai Qian said angrily, Xiao Chui. Xiao Chui shook her head and said, young miss, this matter. Before she could finish explaining, Bai Xiao flicked a small stone at her throat, making her unable to speak, and she could only nod. She thought to herself, I can't control my own body. Is the young miss going to kill me? Bai Xiao thought to herself, plan successful. You want to fight me? Ouyang Xingtian asked angrily, Bai Xiao, do you have any proof that you really went to pick herbs? Bai Xiao wiped her tears and thought to herself, I was waiting for you to ask that. Bai Xiao immediately opened a box. Inside were herbs. Here, these are all top-grade honeysuckle flowers. I went very far to be able to pick these for you, father. I suffered so much, and I was even misunderstood to be dead. I'm so sad, so heartbroken. Seeing this, Bai Yiran smiled and said, Xiao, you have truly suffered. The other servants also started chattering. We misunderstood young Miss Xiao. That's right, young Miss Xiao is so filial. Young Miss Xiao is a great filial daughter. On the outside, she was crying, but on the inside, she was smiling. At the same time, the Night King of Nanzhao's anger index was exploding. He immediately gave an order, relay my command. Even if you have to search the entire world, you must find that fat, rustic woman. All his men knelt down, bowed, and said, yes, young master. He said angrily, I want to chop that woman into 10,000 pieces. After the funeral matter was over, the stepmother, Bai Qian's mother, went with her into the rear garden and advised her, Qin'er. This Bai Xiao is completely different from before. Although I don't know who guided her or what stimulated her to become like this. Today she knew how to curry favor with the master. This is not beneficial for us. For the next few days, you should lay low and not provoke her. Wait for a suitable opportunity to strike so she can never recover. Bai Qian grabbed her mother's hand and asked, why do I have to tolerate that idiot? Mother, what are you afraid of? Bai Xiao is just pretending to be a weak, good-for-nothing. Do you really think she can be completely reborn? Her mother advised, you can't say that. It's always better to be cautious in all things. Bai Qian exclaimed angrily, but I can't stand the sight of that fat, rustic, nauseating figure. With her here, Brother Xingtian and I will never have a chance. Mother, quickly think of a way to get rid of her. Her mother said, all right. I will definitely plan for your sake, for the happiness of us mother and daughter. I will definitely make this scourge disappear. At this time, inside Diguang City, all the citizens were gossiping. Hey, have you guys heard? That fat rustic by Xiao Xiao from the general's manor is back. Of course I know. I heard she went to Mount Bodhi to pick medicine for her father. I didn't expect that although she's ugly, her heart isn't too bad. Just then, the carriage of the Night King of Nanzhao passed by. The Night King of Nanzhao overheard the gossip, was startled, and asked, Mount Bodhi? Fat rustic girl? Could it be that damn woman? Damn it, this wretched woman. Where on earth is she? The general's manor. I will search every general's manor in the capital to catch you. You will definitely regret what you did to me. The Night King of Nanzhao's subordinate outside heard this, broke into a cold sweat, and thought to himself, the young master is like this a few times every month. At this moment, inside the general's manor, Bai Xiao Xiao sneezed and thought, who's talking about me? Just then, Lu Ha and another maid came forward and said, Second young Mississippi. Seeing them, Bai Xiao Xiao said, you two came at the right time. I have something to ask you. Over so many years, you've skimmed quite a bit. From me. Lua cried out, Second young miss, I didn't. Bai Xiao Xiao immediately threw an account book at her face and said, How dare you, you a lowly maid, speak so informally? Who gave you the courage to disregard the hierarchy? Seeing Bai Xiao Xiao's change in attitude, Luha immediately knelt down and begged, Second young miss, spare my life. This servant truly did not take your money. This servant would not dare to be disrespectful to you. Bai Xiao Xiao said coldly, Very well. Then let's go to your room and see if you can still deny it. Seeing this, Luha became anxious. I'm doomed. Bai Xiao Xiao went into Lu He's room, lifted Lu He's bed, and saw a wooden box. She took it out and thought to herself, as expected. Bai Xiao Xiao took out the items and questioned her. These are all mementos my mother left for me. Tell me, how were they found under your pillow? Luha panicked. This servant doesn't know either. It wasn't there a few days ago. I don't know why it's under my pillow today. She thought to herself, I just won't admit it even if they beat me to death. She can't do anything to me. Even if she goes to the master, he'll just say she's being unreasonable and causing trouble in the manor. Bai Xiao Xiao then exclaimed, Even you don't know? It seems someone has framed you. I'll take this box for now. When I find the culprit, I'll settle the score with them. Second miss is absolutely right. This servant will listen to you. Bai Xiao Xiao thought to herself, keeping her around for now will be useful. Then she ran off and happily asked, Now that I have this money, what should I do? She pinched her own flabby flesh. Got it. I'll lose weight. After that, Bai Xiao Xiao immediately disguised herself as a man and left the general's manor. As soon as she went outside, she saw someone following her in a small alley. The two men, upon seeing Bai Xiao Xiao glance in their direction, immediately turned to the stall owner. The lady presented jewelry to them, saying, Sirs, how about buying some jewelry for a young lady? One of them picked it up, examined it, and pretended to say, This isn't bad. Are there any other styles? Bai Xiao Xiao glanced at them and thought to herself, These must be Zhao Mingyue's lackeys. And so, Bai Xiao Xiao immediately left. The stall owner enthusiastically said, Sirs, please have a look. Sirs, if you're not buying, please don't just touch them like that. When they couldn't see Bai Xiao Xiao anymore, they cursed in anger. Damn it, we lost her again. There's no other way. There are too many people here. Let's go back and report first. The vendor was still trying to call out. Sirs, Bai Xiao Xiao, who had hidden in a corner by now, saw this and smiled, thinking to herself, Go on, touch it again. With such little skill, you dare to follow me? You're underestimating me too much. Then Bai Xiao Xiao went to the 100 Medicines Pavilion, smiled, and said, This is the place. With this, I'll definitely become beautiful after losing weight. Beautiful. Then she wrote the ingredients on a piece of paper and gave it to the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper, please get me the things on this. Prescription. The shopkeeper looked at it and said in surprise, Young master, why are all these medicinal herbs ones that people don't commonly use? Bai Xiao Xiao then asked, What? You don't have them here? The shopkeeper smiled and said, We do. It just requires a little time. Could the young master please wait in the main hall for a moment? Meanwhile, in a private room on the second floor of the 100 Medicines Pavilion, the Night King of Nanzhao was waiting for someone. Yin Qingfeng, the owner of the 100 Medicines Pavilion, entered and asked, What wind blew you here? The Night King of Nanzhao then asked, Qingfeng, what's this? This king has arrived, and you're not welcoming me? Yin Qingfeng then said, Your Highness the Night King, don't blame me. I'm just curious what business brings you here today. The Night King of Nanzhao replied, I was just passing by. I thought I'd drop in to see if anything major has happened in Diguang City recently. Yin Qingfeng invited the Night King of Nanzhao to sit down and said, what major events could possibly happen in Diguang City? It's just some domestic trifles. Stop giving me that look. Just say it. What do you need my help with? A renowned figure in the Southern Dynasty like the Night King personally gracing my presence is certainly not for a simple chat. The Night King of Nanzhao spoke. You still understand me best. There is indeed a matter I need your help with. This king wants you to help me find a woman. Upon hearing this, Yin Qingfeng spat out his tea and coughed repeatedly. A woman? You, are you alright? Have you lost your mind? The Night King of Nanzhao asked, annoyed. What do you mean by that? Yin Qingfeng excitedly clapped his hands and stammered. You're looking for a woman. How could you be looking for a woman? Is this woman very beautiful? Which noble family's daughter is she? Or the top talented courtesan? I clearly heard you have male favorites. The Night King of Nanzhao snapped irritably. Stop. This is official business. Yin Qingfeng asked, then tell me. What does this young lady look like? What's her family background? I'll lend you a hand in finding her. The Night King of Nanzhao thought to himself. That night felt like I was on top of a pig's head. He then said, that woman's appearance is both rustic and fat and ugly. Yin Qingfeng thought to himself, rustic, fat, and ugly? His Highness the Night King's tastes are truly heavy. Rustic and ugly. Why are you looking for her? The Night King of Nanzhao angrily slammed the table and said, to play her to death. Just then, Bai Xiao sneezed, causing a cup to fall and attracting the Night King of Nanzhao's attention. Yin Qingfeng asked, what's going on downstairs? A servant replied, boss, I'm not too sure either. Yin Qingfeng then said, I'll go down and see. As soon as Yin Qingfeng went downstairs, someone said, boss, no need to worry. It was just a customer who accidentally broke a cup. Bai Xiao looked up and saw the Night King of Nanzhao, thinking to herself, it's him, the man I devoured. The Night King of Nanzhao and Bai Xiao's eyes met. Bai Xiao immediately covered her face and thought to herself, didn't this handsome man die? How can he be here? He's not here to settle scores with me, is he? It's okay. I'm disguised as a man now. He can't possibly recognize me. She patted her chest lightly to calm herself down. At this moment, the shopkeeper came out and handed the medicine packet to Bai Xiao, saying, young master, the medicine you need is ready. Bai Xiao replied, shop, but she used her female voice. Realizing this, she immediately switched to a rough, hoarse male voice and said, shopkeeper, my apologies, please add the broken teacup to the bill as well. The Night King of Nanzhao stared at Bai Xiao and thought to himself, this person is very familiar. Seeing the Night King of Nanzhao staring intently at Bai Xiao, Yin Qingfeng teased, could it be that your Highness the Night King really has perverted tastes, getting aroused just by looking at a chubby kid? At this moment, Bai Xiao was very calmly taking her medicine packet and leaving the place. When Yin Qingfeng didn't hear a reply from the Night King of Nanzhao, he said, you're high. Where did he go? The Night King of Nanzhao, who was just standing there, had now vanished. As soon as Bai Xiao left the pharmacy, she immediately started running, thinking to herself, please, 1,000 times please don't recognize me. As Bai Xiao was running, she bumped into someone. That young master got angry, but asked with a stutter, who is it? This young master just changed into new clothes. Which clueless person bumped into me and dirted them? You have to compensate me. Bai Xiao raised her head, her eyes showing a pitiful and miserable expression, and said, this young master, I unintentionally offended you. Please forgive me. The moment that young master saw Bai Xiao, he was immediately captivated, thinking to himself, this pitiful look really makes one's heart itch unbearably. That young master then said to Bai Xiao, it's nothing. I just want the little young master to come over to my manor for a chat. Then we can consider the matter settled. Hearing this, Bai Xiao crossed her arms and thought to herself, this guy is a hungry wolf. His taste can't be this heavy, can they? Bai Xiao then said, thank you for your kind intentions, young master, but I must hurry home to brew medicine. I'm truly not free. Next time, that young master stammered, you refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Xiao Bai, the little young master is unwilling to come to the manor. You two help me persuade him. Xiao and Xiao Bai immediately stepped forward and said, Yes, young master. Bai Xiao questioned, what do you think you're doing in broad daylight? Xiao He and Xiao Bai said, little young master, as long as you obey, we won't make things difficult for you. Then they reached out to grab Bai Xiao. She immediately dropped the medicine bag and sent Xiao He and Xiao Bai flying with a single punch. Seeing this, the young master immediately hid behind a tree and said, so scary. Bai Xiao picked up her medicine packet and mimicked him. Scram, 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 scram. The young master cried out, you hit my people, and you're mocking me. I'm telling my mom. At this moment, the Night King of Nan, Zhao, clapped his hands. Bai Xiao was startled and turned her head. The Night King of Nan Zhao praised, that was truly a good show to watch. The moment Bai Xiao saw the Night King of Nan Zhao, she cursed under her breath. Holy crap, when did this guy show up? He didn't see everything, did he? Bai Xiao called out in fear, big brother, what are you saying? I don't understand. If big brother has no other business, I will take my leave first. After saying that, Bai Xiao bowed to the Night King of Nan Zhao. He immediately stepped forward and grabbed Bai Xiao's collar and asked with glaring eyes, do you take this king for a fool? This king has watched this play from beginning to end. This king knows exactly what tricks you have up your sleeve. Saying that, the Night King of Nan Zhao lifted Bai Xiao up. Bai Xiao cried out, hero, spare me. I didn't do anything to you. Let go of me quickly. Bai Xiao cried inwardly, how is this ghost strength so great? The Night King of Nan Zhao let Bai Xiao go. She asked in fear, are you actually a person or a ghost? If you're a vengeful spirit seeking life, go find your enemy. You and I don't know each other, big brother. Hearing this, he scolded, you were brawling in a crowd. Don't even think about getting away with it. If I report this to the authorities or tell those people's faction, do you know what your end will be? Like, hearing this, Bai Xiao thought to herself, wow, what? Could be this ghost still hasn't recognized me? Phew. Bai Xiao pulled on a Night King of Nan Zhao's sleeve, put on a pitiful look, and said, then, big brother, let's discuss this matter slowly. What is it that you want? The Night King of Nan Zhao laughed and asked, what do I want? He pointed at Bai Xiao's chest and asked, if I wanted what's here, would you give it? Bai Xiao cried out, are you kidding? Bai Xiao thought to herself, could it be that he wants? She pushed him away, you really are a demon. Oh my god. The Night King of Nan Zhao cornered Bai Xiao and scolded, damn woman, still daring to play dumb. Do you think this king can't recognize you? Bai Xiao exclaimed in fear, big brother, you've got the wrong person. I'm a man, what damn woman? You've mistaken me for someone else. He wore an expression that said, I'll just quietly watch you act. He pulled the hair tie from her head, lifted her chin, and asked, you think that by making yourself look like this king wouldn't be able to recognize you? Bai Xiao cried out, help, there's a pervert, help. He then scolded, shut up. As he squeezed her cheeks, she cried out in pain, ow, ow, ow. Nam Chiu Devong scolded, speak. That night, you took advantage of this king while I was recuperating from the medicine's effects, barged into the mausoleum, climbed into the coffin, and even dared to do that thing to this king. Who on earth gave you the nerve? Speak, she asked in surprise. Wait a minute. Recuperating from the medicine's effects, this king. So you're a person, not a ghost. Seeing this, Nam Chiu Devong thought to himself, where did this airhead come from? Bai Xiao sighed in relief. That's great. You have body heat. He smiled and said, a ghost? Just wait. You'll soon find out how many times more terrifying this king is than a ghost. Nam Chiu Devong grabbed Bai Xiao's chin. She cried out, ow, ow. Can we talk this out calmly? Can you let me go first? He spoke. This king asks you, are you Bai Xiao? After hearing this, she thought to herself, see, he even knows my name. No wonder he was so sure I was a woman from the very beginning. She sighed, you already know, yet you still ask. He smiled and threatened her. You dare speak to this king like that? I see you're tired of living. Bai Xiao pleaded, handsome, I was wrong. My chin is about to fall off. Please let me go first. He crossed his arms and asked her, your surname is Bai. Between Bai Iran and Bai Ming, who is your father? Bai Xiao immediately answered Bai Iran. Nam Chiu Devong fell silent, thinking to himself, she's Bai Iran's daughter. He asked her, do you know who this king is? She thought, why does he look like he just ate shit? And said, I don't know. He replied, this king is Nam Chiu Devong. Previously, when this king's imperial brother ascended the throne, your father rendered a meritorious service in protecting him. As a favor, my imperial brother became sworn brothers with your father. Only a few people know of this matter, and this king is one of them. So according to seniority, this king is your imperial uncle. After hearing this, Xiao Xiao was startled and said, huh? She thought to herself, this handsome man is my imperial uncle. I slept with my imperial uncle? What the hell is this? Holy crap, imperial uncle, imperial uncle. Nam Chu Devong approached and said to her, that night, you brazenly took advantage of this king's moment of peril and dared to violate this king. Even if you are this king's niece, is still a crime, punishable by beheading. She immediately hugged him. Please don't, imperial uncle, I know I was wrong. You are a great man. Don't stoop to the level of a petty person. Please be magnanimous and spare me this once. I'm willing to be your beast of burden. I have an elderly father above, and I don't have any children below yet. I don't want to die. She thought to herself, if it weren't for this chubby body, which prevents me from using my full strength, there's no way I'd be begging for mercy. But this person is Nam Chiu Devong. To complete my mission, I can't afford to offend him. He then said to her, be my beast of burden? Why don't you take a piss and look at your own reflection? She thought angrily to herself, damn it, if it weren't for this body I have now, you'd have been dead long ago. He pointed at her and said, by Xiao Xiao, this king orders you to engage in dual cultivation with this king to suppress the poison for this king. If you agree, I can spare your life. After hearing this, Bai Xiao Xiao was startled and asked, do dual cultivation? She said, strange, it seems there's nothing wrong with your brain. Your brain is fine. It's just imperial uncle, look at us. She reached out to take Nam Chiu Devong's pulse. He scolded angrily, please have some decency. Bai Xiao Xiao spoke up, wait a moment. You, what kind of poison were you afflicted with? Why is it even more potent than Iran's mixed poison? He asked her Iran. Bai Xiao Xiao smiled and replied, he's a friend of mine. Nam Chu Devong scolded, how can the poison afflicting this king be compared to that of an ordinary person? She replied, boss, you're missing the point. In short, when this poison flares up, imperial uncle, your pupils will turn blood red and you'll lose control. If the poison isn't neutralized in time, the backlash will be fatal. After hearing this, he asked, you understand the corpse emperor's art? She replied, caring for the injured is the specialty of a divine hand. Not to mention, this is my forte. This poison? You just need to find a woman to neutralize it when it flares up. With your looks, uncle, you don't have to worry about not finding a woman. He scolded, if it were that simple, would I need you to spout nonsense? This king has a special constitution. You're the only one who has survived after receiving this king's vital essence. She immediately tried to flee. Imperial uncle, I have something to do, so I'll be heading home first. She thought to herself, although I'd love to dual cultivate with a handsome man, this person is truly terrifying. My intuition tells me it's better not to get involved with him. He blocked her and asked, where do you think you can run? He gritted his teeth and thought to himself, this chubby country bumpkin, I really want to kill you. Right now. She also cried out, why me? Nam Chu Devong snapped. This king would also like to know. He thought to himself, oh no. She immediately asked, uncle, what's wrong? Nam Chu Devong then said, shut up and kiss this king. Hearing this, Bai Xiao Xiao was stunned and asked, what? Nam Chu Devong immediately pulled her close, kissed her, and said, you utter fool. The next day, the townspeople began to gossip. Did you hear? His Highness the Night King was so unrestrained yesterday. He grabbed a young man and kissed him. His Highness the Night King is just too intense. Inside the 100 Medicines Pavilion, Yuan Chuang Fong said, it seems your Highness's popularity is very high recently. Before, I only heard that your Highness had a preference for men, but I'd never seen it happen on the street. Your Highness seems starved. So this subordinate has selected a few clean male courtesans from the shop and will bring them to your Highness's residence tonight. As he spoke, Yuan Chuang Fong placed a chess piece. Nam Chiu Devong frowned. You have too much free time. If you're that idle, then go and find out about the legitimate daughter of General Bai's residence. Yuan Chuang Fong spoke up. Bai Xiao Xiao is truly infamous. Yuan Chuang Fong thought to himself, since when did His Highness become interested in this chubby country bumpkin Bai Xiao Xiao? The young master he chased that day was also a chubby country bumpkin. Could they be the same person? How interesting. Yuan Chuang Fong then told Nam Chiu Devong, I heard that 2 days ago, she turned the general's residence upside down, all because of her fiancé. Nam Chiu Devong asked in surprise, what? She has a fiancé? At this moment, Bai Xiao Xiao sneezed and cursed. Who's bad-mouthing this lady? I don't care anymore. I'll run first and talk later. Who wants to stay and dual cultivate with the imperial uncle? At this time, Bai Xiao was running while carrying all her things. While thinking, although it didn't feel bad, she cried out, "This lady may like handsome men, but I value my life more. This man is too dangerous." She didn't notice Lu He hiding to one side, watching her. Seeing her run away, Lu He thought to herself, "Little slut, just wait until I report back to madam and see how you explain yourself." Bai Xiao ran for a while before stopping, panting, and crying out, "Oh my God, I'm so tired. It looks like I need to lose weight quickly." Just then, a few men in black spoke up, "Make your move." Immediately, several blades were thrown towards her. Bai Xiao immediately asked, "Boo!" Bai Xiao immediately dodged the hidden weapons. Tossing her things aside, she cursed, "Despicable villains, how dare you launch a sneak attack?" Bai Xiao took out her acupuncture needles. "Let me give you a taste of my power." As she spoke, she threw the needles at the assassins and sneered, "You don't know your own limits." Seeing this, the leader thought to himself, "She actually has such skills. This doesn't match the information I received." Bai Xiao then asked him, "Who are you? Who sent you here?" He answered, "Unfortunately, client information is confidential." After hearing this, Bai Xiao asked, "Even if you don't say it, I know. Besides those two brainless women of the Bai family, who else would spend money on me?" After hearing this, the man said, "Since you already know, then go and die." Just then, an acupuncture needle appeared on his shoulder, immobilizing him. When Bai Xiao smiled and asked, "If I let you see me throw my needles, wouldn't that ruin my reputation as a poison doctor? I advise you not to move. There's poison in it." He pulled out the needle and said, "Then you've underestimated me." Bai Xiao thought to herself, to be able to seal his own acupoints, he's truly a ruthless person. He said to her, "Next, we'll have some real fun." The leader immediately grabbed his saber and chased after Bai Xiao. "Don't run if you have the guts." Bai Xiao ran with her things. "Don't chase me if you have the skills." The leader then cursed, "If you have the skills, then fight me fair and square." In a fight, Bai Xiao then said to him, "A good man doesn't fight with a woman. Can't you have a little awareness as a man?" She panted as she ran. "This body needs more training. I've only run a little, and I'm already tired as a dog." Just then, Nam Chiu Devong appeared and asked, "You dare touch her? Are you looking to die?" The Jiu Shun blocked the man. He thought to himself, such a powerful aura. As soon as Bai Xiao saw Nam Chiu Devong, she tearfully threw herself at him. "Imperial uncle, it's so good that you're here." The leader pointed at Nam Chiu Devong and asked, "What is your relationship with this wretched girl?" Nam Chiu Devong smiled and said, "A dead man doesn't need to know too much." After that, Nam Chiu Devong immediately struck down the man. The next day, Bai Xiao woke up and rubbed her eyes. That was a comfortable sleep. Gasps, "Imperial uncle, why are you here?" Bai Xiao looked over at Nam Chiu Devong lying next to her. He smiled and asked, "You dare to question this king? Yesterday, you ran away and were hunted down. It was this king who saved your little life." Bai Xiao, "This king has never forced anyone before." Bai Xiao replied scornfully, "Then may I ask who was it that forced me and told me to kiss him earlier?" Nam Chiu Devong smiled. "If you don't want to dual cultivate with this king, then this king will give you 3 paths. Gouge out your eyes, chop off your hands, or rip out your heart. Choose." After hearing this, she was terrified and started massaging his shoulders. "Imperial uncle, how could I possibly be unwilling? What's so difficult about dual cultivation? Tell me how you like it. Do you like me to be more proactive, or do you prefer a bit of push and pull? Do you want me to be a little louder, or..." After hearing this, he blushed and coughed. "For now, that's not necessary. Get up and get dressed. This king will take you back to the general's residence first." She spoke up, teasing, "Imperial uncle, you're not getting shy, are you?" At the gate of the general's residence, Bai Xiao got out of the carriage. "Thank you for bringing me back, Imperial uncle. I'll head inside first." He said to her, "Bai Xiao, there are some things this king will only say once. You will behave yourself for this king in the general's manner." She then said, "What is this? Forcing me into dual cultivation is one thing, but what's with this domineering 'you are my woman' type of line?" He frowned and asked, "What? You have a problem with it?" Bai Xiao replied, No, of course not. I'm super well behaved. I never say more than one sentence to other men." After hearing her, King Yi of Nanzhao pointed to Hong Xiu beside her and asked with a dark face, "Behave yourself? Explain this." Bai Xiao frantically explained to Yi Jioshan, "No, Yi ran as my friend, I've told you about him before. After hearing this, King Yi of Nanzhao turned and got into the carriage. Fine, it has nothing to do with me. Hearing this, Bai Xiao scornfully thought to herself, but your expression doesn't look like that at all. Then, Hong Xiu took Bai Xiao to Feng Yiran's residence. Feng Yiran took off his shirt for Bai Xiao to perform acupuncture. As Bai Xiao inserted the needles into Feng Yiran, she asked, "Is this amount of force okay?" Feng Yiran replied, After finishing the acupuncture, Bai Xiao put away the silver needles and told Feng Yiran about his condition. "Looking at your pulse today, it has improved a lot." Feng Yiran put on his shirt and said to Bai Xiao with a smile, "It is all thanks to you, miss." She then smiled and said, "You're too kind, too kind." Feng Yiran continued, "Oh, right, for the Lantern Festival in half a month, I would like to invite you to go with me. I wonder if you would agree." Bai Xiao's eyes lit up. "The Lantern Festival? Okay, yes." At the general's manor, Bai Xiao sat in her room and mumbled, "I don't even know what the Lantern Festival is. Why did I agree? Looks really do cloud one's judgment." At this moment, a servant came in and asked her, "Miss, you don't know about the Lantern Festival? It's a day for men and women to go out together and express their feelings. But that day has nothing to do with you, miss. No one has invited you to go with them." After hearing this, Bai Xiao said, "You're being so obviously offensive. Are you looking to die?" Bai Xiao imagined the scene of going out with Feng Yiran and then pinched her own face. She thought, no, my inner self won't allow this to happen. She slammed the table and said, "I've decided I must speed up my weight loss progress." And so, Bai Xiao began to exercise. A servant asked, "What is Miss doing?" Another replied, "I don't know. It seems like she's practicing some kind of skill, but it looks more like she's suffering from qi deviation." Bai Xiao, trembling all over, refused the delicacies before her and could only cry while gnawing on a cucumber. Then she started brewing and drinking medicine. After she drank it, she fainted. The servants cried out, "Miss has fainted. Miss, please wake up." King Yi of Nanzhao's subordinate saw this and went back to report to him. He asked in disbelief, "You mean to say that for the past few days, no one has dared to make a move on her?" His man replied, "Yes." He then asked, "Then what kind of medicine is she using to torture herself to the point of drinking it until she faints?" His subordinate came closer and whispered, "I also heard that she is doing it for..." After hearing this, he asked doubtfully, "The Lantern Festival. The Garden Lantern Festival in half a month." King Yi of Nanzhao and Yun Changfeng appeared on the street. King Yi of Nanzhao looked at the crowd around him and grumbled. "She said she was coming to the Lantern Festival. How come I can't see her anywhere?" Then, suddenly, Yi Jiushin saw a woman walk past him and was extremely puzzled. Bai Xiao had now successfully lost weight. Looking incredibly beautiful, she walked to Feng Yiran's side and said with a smile, "Sorry to have kept you waiting." Feng Yiran smiled and replied, "It's all right. I just arrived myself." "Miss Bai, you look very beautiful today." Bai Xiao smiled upon being praised. Hong Xiu saw her appearance and thought to herself, "This is a completely changed person. Why did you recognize her as Miss Bai at a single glance?" Then Bai Xiao was startled. This feeling was just too unreal. King Yi of Nanzhao looked towards her and asked, "Is that really Bai Xiao? How does she look like a completely different person from before?" So it turns out she tortured herself like that all for the sake of meeting her lover today. Feng Yiran turned and said to Bai Xiao, "The garden tour is about to begin. Miss Bai, let's go. It's so crowded. It wouldn't be good if we get separated later. Of course, if you don't mind." After saying that, he took her hand. She replied, I don't mind. She thought to herself, "It's just holding hands. A 21st century girl like me isn't going to mind this with an ancient person like you." Feng Yiran led her by the hand. "Let's go." Seeing this, King Yi of Nanzhao became annoyed. Yin Changfeng, at his side, added fuel to the fire. "I wonder if that handsome young master next to her is Miss Bai's something." Hearing this, King Yi of Nanzhao angrily broke the object in his hand. Bai Xiao looked around and exclaimed, "So the Lantern Festival is this lively?" Feng Yiran replied to her, "Of course, after all, there's only one day like this a year, helping loving men and women to stroll hand in hand like this." Hearing this, Bai Xiao thought to herself, does this count as a confession? I can't get ahead of myself." Just then, Yun Changfeng approached and said to her, Miss Bai, Master Yi invites you to Yitzi Lake." After hearing this, she asked, "Yi Jiushin, Feng Yiran said to her, "If Miss Bai has something to attend to, I I won't disturb you any longer. Go on. Bai Xiao then said, all right. Then she thought to herself, Feng Yiran is truly considerate. Then she turned and asked, I wonder what Yi Jiushan wants to do now? Yi Jiushan seems to be an interesting person too. Then she walked towards the lake and asked, Yi Jiushan is on the boat. Yin Changfeng replied, yes. Bai Xiao walked onto the bridge and said, why be so mysterious? I never thought that in my lifetime I would get to see His Highness King Yi get jealous over a girl. She went inside the boat and asked, Imperial Uncle, you were looking for me? And she tripped and fell. Yi Jiushan caught her. She asked him, what's the matter? He then said, Bai Xiao, are you that eager to be in my arms? Hearing Yi Jiushan's question, Bai Xiao became angry. Since when was I eager to be in your arms? That was just an accident, okay? And let's see who was it that took the initiative to catch me. Bai Xiao quickly escaped from Yi Jiushan's arms and intended to run away. As if he knew her actions all too well, Yi Jiushan quickly and deftly blocked her, pinning her against the wall and asking her, do I need to remind you a little about your identity? Since you have dual cultivated with this king, you should fool around less with other men. Being accused by Yi Jiushan of fooling around with other men, Bai Xiao cried out, when did I fool around with other men? Oh, you mean Iran? Hearing Bai Xiao call Feng Iran so intimately, Yi Jiushan became even angrier. Yi Jiushan's face darkened as he asked Bai Xiao, Iran? Addressing him so brazenly. As soon as he finished speaking, he leaned down and kissed her on the lips. Seeing this, Bai Xiao cried out, Imperial Uncle. Then Bai Xiao pushed Yi Jiushan away and asked him, Imperial Uncle, you're not jealous, are you? As if his sore spot had been hit, Yi Jiushan adamantly refused to admit it, turning away to ask Bai Xiao, jealous of what? This king simply doesn't like the person who dual cultivates with me going around flirting everywhere. Hearing Yi Jiushan's transparent excuse, Bai Xiao showed a completely disbelieving expression. Nevertheless, Bai Xiao still said, I believe you. Then suddenly, the boat shook. Bai Xiao fell into Yi Jiushan's arms and was caught by him. Bai Xiao was startled. She thought to herself, what's happening? On the bridge at this moment, assassins were lying in ambush, targeting Yi Jiushan's boat. Yi Jiushan glanced and saw the assassins who had already jumped onto the boat's railing, and he instructed her, wait in there for me, don't come out. Then Yi Jiushan turned and walked out of the room. He alone faced the group of assassins. He said contemptuously, you people from Yuya Hall truly are unrepentant. The assassin spoke up, Yi Jiushan, if you must blame someone, blame yourself for blocking our hall master's path. Yi Jiushan then gathered his spiritual energy with unknown power and blew the group of people away. Bai Xiao praised. After such a big build-up, the fight ended in just one move? Yi Jiushan then asked, didn't I tell you not to come out? Seeing this, the assassin immediately grabbed explosives and charged forward. She cried out, Imperial Uncle, be careful, be careful. That assassin shouted, Yi Jiushan, let's meet again in hell. After saying that, he self-detonated. Bai Xiao was startled to see this, and then raindrops began to fall, which was a blood rain. Bai Xiao touched it with her hand and said, this blood is poisoned. Imperial Uncle. Yi Jiushan's men began to move at this time. After realizing it was poison blood, Bai Xiao immediately went to Yi Jiushan's side and asked, Imperial Uncle, are you alright? Yi Jiushan had been hit by the poison blood. He coughed up blood and collapsed. Seeing Bai Xiao approaching him, Yi Jiushan said to her, don't come over here. Seeing Yi Jiushan fall, Bai Xiao was worried. Imperial Uncle. Yi Jiushan then explained to Bai Xiao, the poison blood has triggered the poison within my body. After hearing this, Bai Xiao understood and asked, the poison has acted up, so we must dual cultivate to cure it. Normally, if the poison in Yi Jiushan's body acted up, he would make Bai Xiao dual cultivate with him. But this time, Yi Jiushan didn't tell her to dual cultivate and instead cut his hand, saying, whether this king dual cultivates with you or not depends on me. And right now, this king is not interested. Seeing Yi Jiushan say this, Bai Xiao froze. She frowned and thought to herself, he'd rather let the poisoned blood drain out than dual cultivate with me. At times like this, I don't know whether to call it caring or just stubborn. Bai Xiao was worried about Yi Jiushan, so she disobeyed his words and approached him. Even if you don't want to dual cultivate, it's enough that I want to. Woo! After saying that, Bai Xiao hugged Yi Jiushan. Seeing this, Yi Jioshin was startled. Stop, what do you want to do? Bai Xiaoxiao replied. Dual cultivation, what else? When Yi Jioshin heard Bai Xiaoxiao say this, he scolded. You have no shame. Bai Xiaoxiao replied nonchalantly. Say what you will, I want to do it today. Yi Jioshin immediately broke free from her embrace, turned, and jumped into the lake. Seeing Yi Jioshin suddenly jump into the water, Bai Xiaoxiao was startled in disbelief. He suddenly jumped into the lake. Could it be that dual cultivation with me is even more unacceptable than jumping into a lake? Bai Xiaoxiao fell silent, pondering for a moment. After some time, Bai Xiaoxiao, sitting on the boat, said to Yi Jioshin, Imperial Uncle, come up in a bit. I won't force you anymore. Why didn't I think of using the lake water to lower his temperature and neutralize the poison's effects? Could it be that I was really eager to? Then Bai Xiaoxiao shook her head and exclaimed, No, I must have just been anxious to save him. Bai Xiaoxiao then asked Yi Jioshin, Imperial Uncle, why haven't you come up yet? You haven't drowned, have you? Imperial Uncle is so reckless. Seeing Yi Jioshin not responding, Bai Xiaoxiao jumped into the lake. Seeing her, Yi Jioshin cried out, Bai Xiaoxiao. Bai Xiaoxiao swam down, lifted his chin, and kissed him to give him air. He thought to himself, why is she in such a hurry to save me? If I died, you would be free, no longer forced by me to dual cultivate. You wouldn't have to be threatened by me. Bai Xiaoxiao pushed Yi Jioshin to the surface and said, There, you're up. She thought to herself, wait, no way. Her legs started to cramp, and she cried out, Help me. Yun Changfeng, standing on the bridge, saw Bai Xiaoxiao and Yi Jioshin fall into the water. Hearing Bai Xiaoxiao crying for help, he thought, over there. Yun Changfeng immediately jumped down and pulled Bai Xiaoxiao and Yi Jioshin ashore. Yun Changfeng asked her, How did you suddenly fall into the lake? Are you two all right? His Highness, Prince Yi. Bai Xiaoxiao immediately covered Yun Changfeng's mouth and said, Be quiet. Back to the prince's manor. Inside the prince's manor, after examining Yi Jioshin, Bai Xiaoxiao turned to Yun Changfeng and said, The poison in the Imperial Uncle's body has flared up. It's only been temporarily suppressed. Moreover, his hand is severely injured. Help me prepare a set of silver needles. Then get the medicine according to this prescription. If we don't deal with this quickly, the future consequences will be unpredictable. Yun Changfeng left for a while, then brought the items to her, saying, Miss Bai, the things you needed. Bai Xiaoxiao unrolled the silver needles and said to Yun Changfeng, Take off his clothes. Yun Changfeng replied, Yes. He asked, Miss Bai, will His Highness be all right? At this moment, Bai Xiaoxiao was concentrating, holding her breath as she inserted needles into Yi Jioshin's body to draw out the poisoned blood for him. She said, He's fine for now. I can only use the silver needles to temporarily suppress the poison's effects. This poison is too potent. Even I don't have a way to completely resolve it at the moment. Huh? Why does this tattoo look like the eagle on Feng Yiran's body? Do they have the same tattoo master? She said, Forget it. Then she turned to Yun Changfeng and said, The Imperial Uncle is fine now. Bring a basin of water and wipe him down. He replied, Thank you so much, Miss Bai. If it weren't for you, I really wouldn't have known what to do. Thank you for saving His Highness, Prince Yi. Miss Bai, since it's come to this, and you're a good person, please see it through to the end. Help His Highness, Prince Yi, take care of it. She asked, He ran off, saying, His Highness, Prince Yi, will have to rely on you, miss. Bai Xiaoxiao was stunned. What was that? He said thanks, and then ran off. She thought to herself, why do I feel like there's some kind of scheme going on? As Yun Changfeng ran, he thought to himself, His Highness has never allowed his subordinates to touch him. He exclaimed, Good thing I ran fast. Otherwise, if His Highness, Prince Yi, woke up and found out I touched him, this subordinate would be dead for sure. Bai Xiaoxiao wrung out the cloth. Forget it, I'll just do it myself. But if that's the case, then I'll handle it as I see fit. Bai Xiaoxiao began to wipe Yi Jioshin's body. Wipe. It seems there's only one spot left to wipe. She swallowed and said, I'm just a physician with a parental heart. Just then, Yi Jioshin woke up and asked, Bai Xiaoxiao, what are you doing? Bai Xiaoxiao was startled. Bai Xiaoxiao froze. She was then pulled by Yi Jioshin, and Xiaoxiao fell onto him. She forced a smile. Imperial Uncle, you're awake. The male lead, Yi Jioshin, saw her hand holding the cloth and resting on a sensitive area. He said, embarrassed by Xiaoxiao. Xiaoxiao quickly stood up. Imperial Uncle, I can explain. It's all because Yun Changfeng wouldn't wipe you down. so I had to do it myself. Yin Changfeng, standing behind, looked bewildered and quickly made his excuses. Seeing him pull off the blanket and get out of bed, Xiao Xiao turned away, covering her face in a fluster. I'm Imperial. Imperial uncle, your wound hasn't healed. Don't get up. Or if you must, at least put on some clothes first. Yi Jiushin stood up and put on a robe. How can I put on clothes without standing up? Hearing this, Xiao Xiao laughed awkwardly. That seems to be true. Ah, that's right. Who were those people on the boat who attacked us? Yi Jiushin came over and patted her head. The more you know, the more dangerous it is for you, by Xiao Xiao. Do you really want to know? Xiao Xiao sulked, her head bowed. Now I don't want it anymore. He then leaned into her ear and whispered, but it's all right to tell you. Xiao Xiao panicked. Don't, I beg you spare me. Yi Jiushin then said, by Xiao Xiao, thank you. Xiao Xiao froze, and he gently lifted her face. Xiao Xiao's heart pounded. What's happening? By Xiao Xiao, you need to calm down. Don't let your heart beat so fast. It's just a thank you. Why is it beating so fast? She quickly turned away. What's there to thank me for? I'm just a physician with a mother's kindness. She said shyly, if you want to thank me, just pay me. Since we're acquaintances, how about I give you a discount to 100,000 taels? Yi Jiushin had to accept. All right. Hearing this, Xiao Xiao was surprised. All right, that's 100,000 taels. Yi Jiushin just gave a cold command. Yin Changfeng, bring the purple dragon jade pendant here. Yin Changfeng complied immediately. Your Highness, Princey. Seeing this, Xiao Xiao thought to herself, that was fast. Then the box with the purple dragon jade pendant was brought over. Yi Jiushin took it and gave it to Xiao Xiao. For you. Xiao Xiao held the jade pendant, stunned, and muttered, what is this? Is this thing worth 100,000 taels? What if I break it? Yin Changfeng thought to himself. His Highness gave the purple dragon jade pendant to Miss Xiao Xiao. It seems I'll have to cling tightly to the future princess consort Ye's leg. Xiao Xiao clutched the jade pendant tightly and replied, all right, I'll accept the jade pendant for now. It's getting late. I have to go back. If I'm out all night, those petty people will surely find fault with me. But Yi Jiushin called her back by Xiao Xiao. She paused and he said, if you run into any trouble when you get back, just come find me. Then Xiao Xiao left, waving goodbye. Yin Changfeng approached him. Your Highness, while Miss Xiao Xiao was here, this subordinate didn't dare to mention it. Yin Changfeng clasped his hands respectfully to him. Actually, the poison in your body, over time, will become more severe, won't it? Yi Jiushin replied. That is correct. Yin Changfeng was checking Prince Ye's pulse. Miss Xiao Xiao has only temporarily controlled the poison. This is not a long-term solution. Yi Jiushin said, of course I know that. Yin Changfeng knelt, weeping, and begged him. Your Highness, boo-hoo-hoo. Yi Jiushin coldly shouted, get lost. Changfeng said to him, I know of someone who can cure the poison in your Highness's body. Yi Jiushin crossed his arms, gazing into the distance outside. I have a rough idea of who you're talking about. Let me tell you, don't even think about it. The words were like a thunderous roar of anger. Yin Changfeng cried his eyes out. Please don't be like this, Your Highness. Outside, he continued to persuade Prince Yi. This subordinate knows you and that divine physician of Wushuang Valley, Feng Jinyue, are not on good terms. But things have come to this. There's no other way. Yi Jiushin said to him, you're too naive. That fellow hates me too. Even if I were to bow my head to him, he wouldn't spare me any face. He'd even mock me until I die. However, it's not like there's no solution. I heard that fellow is recently holding some kind of disciple recruitment assembly. Hearing this, Yin Changfeng realized, I understand. You're talking about Bai Xiao Xiao. Yin Changfeng pondered. To have Miss Xiao Xiao attend the disciple recruitment assembly and become Feng Jinyue's disciple is possible, but will Miss Xiao Xiao agree to participate in the assembly? Yi Jiushin said bluntly, she will agree. Meanwhile, back at her residence, Xiao Xiao couldn't stop sneezing. She walked around. Why do I feel a chill? I'm not catching a cold, am I? Then she opened the door to her room. I'm back. At that moment, Xiao Xiao was startled. Here, everyone is sitting inside in 2 rows on either side. Xiao Xiao guessed, and her guess was spot on. This really isn't surprising at all. Bai Iran, sitting at the head, angrily pointed at her. Bai Xiao Xiao, where were you all night? Where did you go? Her younger sister, standing behind, observed and sneered. Isn't this enough to ruin your reputation? Then she approached her father to persuade him. Father, don't be so angry. It's bad for your health. Although older sister is unrestrained, went gallivanting at the Lantern Festival and stayed out all night, ruining a maiden's pure reputation. But it's fortunate that older sister has returned now. Seeing this, Xiao Xiao thought irritably, a master at splashing dirty water on others while pretending to be a gentle and obedient daughter. Bai Yiran angrily slammed the table. What else do you have to explain? His two concubines came to persuade him. Don't harm your health by being angry at her. Please calm down, master. Master, don't be angry anymore. She sneered. By Xiao Xiao, you still haven't given an explanation. I'm afraid the general's manor will not tolerate an unchaste and impure daughter like you. Just then, someone ran in from outside. Wait. Yi Jioshin and Yun Changfeng walked in. This explanation, let this prince handle it. How about that? Yi Jioshan's entrance startled everyone inside. His Highness, Yi Jioshan, Bai Jiran immediately came forward to bow. I was not aware of your Highness's grand arrival and failed to welcome you from afar. Yi Jioshan said, there is no need for such formalities. This prince came here today to give you all an explanation. He then took Xiao Xiao's hand and pulled her. Over last night, Bai Xiao Xiao did not return because she was indeed staying at my place. Seeing this, Bai Qianqian and Zhao Mingyue were displeased, thinking to themselves, this little brat actually managed to get involved with Yi Jiao. Shun, Bai Jiran stammered. This. Yi Jioshan put an arm around Xiao Zhao's shoulder and said, last night, I accidentally fell into the water. Fortunately, I met this young lady who came to my rescue. Xiao Xiao could only watch in silence, thinking to herself, he's such a good actor. Then Yi Jioshan said, a life-saving benefactor is someone this prince will never forget, so I have come here specially today to express my gratitude. Hearing this, Bai Jiran thought to himself, I never expected that this girl, Xiao Xiao, would actually become the life-saving benefactor of His Highness, Yi Jioshan. Then Yi Jioshan ordered, men, bring the thank you gifts here. Bai Jiran was delighted, but outwardly refused hastily. This really won't do. Meanwhile, the mother and her two daughters standing behind were annoyed. Aya, this is so infuriating. Xiao Xiao was crying internally over that pile of gold. Imperial uncle is too extravagant. With so many things, they are benefiting way too much. Then Yi Jioshan offered praise, adding that he has a good way of raising his daughter. Bai Jiran smiled brightly. Your Highness, Yi Jioshan, you flatter me. Annoyed, Xiao Xiao tugged at the Yi prince's sleeve. You, come over here. Then the two of them went outside to talk. Seeing this, Jiran thought to himself, it seems the relationship between Xiao Xiao and His Highness, Yi Jioshan, is very good. Outside, the two were standing and talking. Yi Jioshan explained, I went to great lengths to come and provide cover for you. Yet you don't seem to care about your reputation at all. Xiao Xiao was stunned. Is reputation more important than money? Is your brain waterlogged? What was in that chest to just let those people benefit for nothing? Yi Jioshan covered his mouth, laughing to himself. Even if it's money, it's my money. He moved his face close to hers. You're not the Yi Jioshan princess, so what? To be pitying my money on my behalf. Hearing this, Xiao Xiao replied, fine, just pretend I said nothing. Then Yi Jioshan turned away. Forget it, let's talk business. Have you heard of the divine physician, Feng Jingyue? Xiao Xiao was surprised at who's that. Is he very famous? Yi Jioshan recounted, Feng Jingyue is currently the only person in this world who can bear the title of divine physician. The others are merely swindlers out for money. Next month, he will hold a disciple recruitment assembly at Jiueqing Valley. Hearing this, Xiao Zhao's eyes lit up with excitement. The contemporary divine physician, a disciple recruitment assembly. Then Yi Jioshan showed some hesitation, but he only accepts those with extremely high talent as his disciples. Although this prince is acquainted with him. Xiao Xiao immediately linked her arm with his and pleaded, Imperial uncle, take me with you. I will definitely pass the disciple recruitment assembly's test. Seeing her like this, Yi Jioshan thought to himself, although this isn't much different from what I had in mind, why do I feel so annoyed? He then acted proud, although this prince does intend to go to Jiueqing Valley. Yi Jioshan leaned his face close to Xiao Zhao's. But on what ground should this prince bring you along? Xiao Xiao looked up at him blankly. Then she kissed him on the cheek, on the grounds that I'm your dearest dual cultivation partner, of course. Imperial uncle. Seeing this, Yi Jioshan was both embarrassed and flustered. All right, that's enough. He held his forehead and said, I'll take you, all right. Then Xiao Xiao left delightedly. I knew Imperial uncle wouldn't abandon me so easily. I'll go pack my bags then. Yi Jioshan stayed behind, touching the spot she had just kissed and smiling to himself that I really don't know what to do with you. At Tinyayan, Feng Yiran was with Xiao Xiao. He asked in surprise that a disciple recruitment assembly. Xiao Xiao, who was performing acupuncture on him, replied, "That's right. I heard it's organized by the divine physician Feng Jinwei. Just thinking about it makes me a little excited." Feng Yiran scoffed. Feng Jinwei. Meanwhile, Xiao Xiao was overjoyed. "I can't believe Imperial Uncle really agreed to take me." She applied a needle on Iran, but her hand trembled, and he cried out, "Ah!" Xiao Xiao was startled. "Sorry, I got a bit excited and used too much force." "Are you all right?" Iran calmly replied, "I'm fine." Xiao Xiao scratched her head shyly. "Actually, this time, besides coming to help you with acupuncture, I also came to say goodbye. Imperial Uncle is planning to take me to the disciple recruitment assembly, so I might be gone for a few days." Iran was surprised. Imperial Uncle. He recalled the man from the other day. Could it be the person from the Lantern Festival? Hearing this, Xiao Xiao was surprised. "The Lantern Festival? You met Imperial Uncle before?" Iran put his shirt back on. "I've never met him." He stood looking out into the distance. "If Miss Xiao gets to meet the divine physician Feng at the disciple recruitment assembly, please send him my regards." The next day in CS City, the horse carriage stopped. Xiao Xiao got out. "We're here. Let's get out." To the Imperial Apothecary Pavilion. Xiao Xiao entered with the Yi Prince. "This is the Imperial Apothecary Pavilion of CS City. Your Highness, Yi Jiushun." Tao Roar came out to greet them. "Long time no see." Yi Jiushun also greeted her back. "Long time no see." Xiao Xiao hid behind the Yi Prince. "Who is this? Is she very close to Imperial Uncle?" "That's right," Tao Roar said. "Your Highness, Yi Jiushun, this young lady is the physician you asked me to test." "Test?" Xiao Xiao frantically asked the Yi Prince. "Test? Test what?" He then tugged at her sleeve. "This is Roar, Feng Jinyue's junior martial sister. If you want to participate in the disciple recruitment assembly, you must first pass her test to qualify." Xiao Xiao finally understood. "Oh. Roar said, "You two, stop whispering." Then Roar brought out a rack. "Let's start the test now." There are 3 vials on the rack. The test is very simple. These 3 bottles all contain poison. As long as you can identify these poisons within the time it takes for an incense stick to burn and write down the antidotes on paper, you will pass. Xiao Xiao was surprised. "May I ask, Sister Ru, if I pass the test, can I participate in the disciple recruitment assembly? I didn't expect the test content to be my specialty. Poisons. Isn't this a piece of cake?" Roar answered her, "Of course." Then the incense stick was lit. "Let's begin." Xiao Xiao sniffed each vial and saw something on the rim of a vial. Golden snake lotus, nether scent amber, and it crawled on her sleeve, making Xiao Xiao dizzy. Yi Jiushun stood by worriedly by Xiao Xiao. Ruo'er said to him, "Your Highness, Yi Prince, you cannot interfere during the test, or it will affect the fairness of the result." Result. Xiao Xiao pressed an acupoint on her arm. "Imperial Uncle, don't worry about me. I'm fine." Seeing this, Ruoto said, "She has some skill to even know the acupoint pressing technique to suppress the poisons." Effects. Xiao Xiao carefully observed the 3 bottles, and it dawned on her: golden snake lotus, nether scent amber, blood moon marrow. I was almost fooled by this little trick. Then she started to pick up a brush and write on the paper. Then she held up the paper. There are 4 types of poisons here, right? The 4th type of poison is formed by the mixture of golden snake lotus, nether scent amber, and blood moon marrow. Xiao Xiao handed the paper to Ruor. When one sniffs them to identify the poisons, a poisonous gas is formed, which is the floating scent of ruin. This is the difficult part you set up in this test. Hearing this, Ruor clapped her hands. The first 3 poisons are extremely difficult to identify. I didn't expect you could also figure out the 4th hidden poison. Hidden within. It seems you truly have skill. Xiao Xiao asked again. So, does that mean I've passed the test? Ruor clasped her hands respectfully. Of course. You two may go back first. I will send someone with the invitation card later. Later, the carriage was moving on the road. Yi Jiushin asked by Xiao Xiao, I didn't expect that besides medical skills, you also know so much about poisons. Xiao Xiao was sitting in the carriage with him. So. Not as amazing as you think. Jioshan said, it's just that this prince wants to know, where did you learn all these skills? Xiao Xiao stammered, how do I explain this? You won't believe that I transmigrated here, right? Right? Then Xiao Xiao stammered, I taught myself in the Manners Pharmacy. I was very interested in medicine before, and over time I just learned. Hearing that, Jioshan went, oh. Xiao Xiao quickly said, it's true. Believe me, I'm not lying to you. Imperial uncle. Yi Jioshan reluctantly said, fine, I'll believe you for now. Xiao Xiao lowered her head, feeling very unwell, her hands trembling. Her head was spinning, making her hold her forehead. What's wrong with me? Yi Jiushan was surprised by Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao gasped, clutching her chest. Then her eyes widened, and she suddenly picked up a knife and held it to the top of her head. Yi Jiushan rushed over. By Xiao Xiao, what's wrong with you? He pinned her hand against the wall. Xiao Xiao cried out in pain. Imperial uncle, knock me out. Jiushan still didn't understand what was happening. She urged him quick. Then Yi Jiushan raised his hand high and struck a heavy blow across her face. Xiao Xiao fainted, and Yi Jiushan caught her. By Xiao Xiao, he picked Xiao Xiao up and frantically ordered the driver, turn around to the Imperial Apothecary Pavilion. He thought of roar. This must have something to do with how roar. Seeing Xiao Xiao was already gone. By Xiao Xiao, nothing can happen to you. Jiushan held her in his arms. This prince will definitely save you. You must hold on to the Imperial Apothecary Pavilion. Yi Jiushan carried Xiao Xiao inside. Tao, roar. She was standing outside. I wonder why His Highness the Yi Prince has returned after leaving. What is the matter? Yi Jiushan, with a dark expression, holding Xiao Xiao, wasted no words. By Xiao Xiao ended up like this because she was poisoned by you. Hand over the antidote now. Ruater said, I can give her the antidote, but if I do, she won't be able to get the invitation letter. Yi Jiushan was surprised. What do you mean by that? Nuakni crossed her arms and said, if a medical student can't even cure her own poisoning, don't even think about getting my senior brother's approval. This bitch by Xiao Xiao. What kind of dark magic did she use to make His Highness, King Yi, so utterly mesmerized? Yi Jiushan roared with anger. Down Nuakni. I'll say it again. Give me the antidote now. Xiao Xiao weakly tugged at his sleeve. Wait, royal uncle. Yi Jiushan was surprised. Xiao Xiao, you're awake. Xiao Xiao stammered, I'm better now. You can put me down first. Seeing the two of them like this, Nuakni looked disgusted. Xiao Xiao weakly stood up. It's the 5 poisons goo, isn't it? Hearing this, Nuakni was surprised. She actually knows. Xiao Xiao held out her hand. That I just don't know if this 5 poisons goo was a test or if you did on purpose. Luckily, when I was poisoned, I managed to seal my acupuncture points in time. Otherwise, the consequences would have been unimaginable. Xiao Xiao stared at her, stunned. We have no grudge against each other, so why would you try to kill me? Nuakni pondered for a moment. Of course it was a test. The apothecary is next door. You could detoxify yourself. Xiao Xiao replied, all right. Seeing this, Yi Jiushan was alarmed. Xiao Xiao, but she cut him off. Royal uncle, I can do it. Yi Jiushan was stunned. Even in this state, she still chooses to detoxify herself. By Xiao Xiao, just how many sides of you are there that I don't understand? Meanwhile, Nuakni sneered. To be able to stand up after being hit by the 5 poisons goo, this woman is indeed not simple. It's just that this poison is extremely difficult to cure. Whatever she does will just be a waste of effort. Yi Jiushan reached out down Nuakni. He grabbed her hand. Did you ever think that if by Xiao Xiao hadn't detected the 5th poison, wouldn't she have been doomed to die? How can this be my fault? If she came here, she should have been prepared for the worst. Nuakni cried out in pain. His Highness, King Yi, you're hurting me. Yi Jiushan warned her. Listen closely to this, king. Even if you're a Feng Jinyue's junior sister, if you dare to harm by Xiao Xiao in the slightest again, I will definitely not spare you. Dao Nuakni stared at him. His Highness, King Yi, my Dao Nuakni's medical talent is second to none. For you, I willingly stayed in this tiny Imperial Apothecary Pavilion, and yet you get angry at me for a bitch. By Xiao Xiao, I will definitely not let you live. I want you to know, I'm a most suitable woman to be by King Ye's side. Xiao Xiao stood with her arms crossed. Dao Nuakni, I suppose this means I've passed, right? Dao Nuakni was astonished. How is this possible? She managed to detoxify herself so quickly. Xiao Xiao then turned to question Yi Jiushan. How about it, royal uncle? Aren't I amazing? Dao Nuakni then had no choice but to give the invitation to Xiao Xiao. Tomorrow at high noon, go to the location in the letter to get it. You can only go alone. Otherwise, you won't get the invitation. Also, Nuakni threw something to Xiao Xiao. This is a token from Peerless Valley. Consider it an apology gift. Xiao Xiao caught it and thanked her. Many thanks. She held it up. It was a protective talisman. Royal uncle, have you and Dao Nuakni known each other for a long time? In the horse carriage, Yi Jiushan answered her. We've only met a few times. She is the junior sister of the divine Dr. Feng Jinwei and voluntarily came to the Imperial Apothecary Pavilion to train. What reason would this king have to refuse? Hearing this, Xiao Xiao was surprised. There are so many apothecary pavilions in the world. Why did she insist on entering the royal uncle's? Jioshin said thoughtfully. This king's imperial apothecary pavilion is, after all, one of the top 1 or 2 in the southern dynasty kingdom. Xiao Xiao speculated. I always feel that with Dao Nuoc Ni, she has an ulterior motive. Dao Nuoc Ni stood watching their carriage gradually depart. His Highness, King Yi, sooner or later you will lose by Xiao Xiao because of your protection of her. That protective talisman. After you find out the true purpose of the disciple recruitment conference, I'm afraid you'll regret it to your very core. Where is Xie Wangjiang? Xiao Xiao was dazed that I've been here since high noon. It's been almost an hour. Why hasn't the person delivering the invitation appeared yet? Why hasn't the person delivering the invitation appeared yet? She listlessly held the invitation card in her hand. Dao Nuoc Ni didn't give me a fake address, did she? Oh no, she wouldn't be that cruel, would she? She held the protective talisman in her hand. But if she hates me so much, why would she give me a protective talisman? Suddenly, a person in patched clothes ran up and bumped into her. The protective talisman in her hand disappeared. The protective talisman. Xiao Xiao ran after him. You in front. How dare you steal from me? Stop right there. He ran away, sticking out his tongue and taunting. Na 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 boo boo. She couldn't catch up. In the small alley, there were a few people passing by. The boy ran off, with Xiao Xiao chasing right after him, but then he vanished without a trace. Xiao Xiao was frantic. Excuse me, brother, did you see a beggar run past here? He stole something from me. How did that beggar just disappear? That brother said. He ran to the left. Xiao Xiao then ran after him. Many thanks. Then that brother held the talisman in his hand, but something fell from him. Xiao Xiao immediately stopped. Feng Jinwei held up the talisman. Is this what you're looking for? At this moment, Xiao Xiao was drooling, her eyes sparkling with love. Wow, how can there be someone so handsome in this world? This level of beauty can really be compared to the royal uncle. Jinwei approached and asked her, is this yours? Xiao Xiao smiled shyly. That's mine. By Xiao Xiao, you beauty lover. Why you get boy crazy over everyone you see? Thank you, handsome brother, for your help. May I ask for your name? Feng Jinwei sneered. You want to be my disciple, yet you don't even know who I am? Xiao Xiao was stunned. You can't be the divine doctor, Feng Jinwei, can you? Feng Jinwei said proudly, it is I. Xiao Xiao cried internally. What do I do now? I just called him handsome brother. That was so disrespectful. He won't think I'm a pervert, will he? She then tried to calm down. Please ignore my rudeness just now. This humble girl, by Xiao Xiao, hopes to become your disciple. Feng Jinwei was surprised. Then, can you accept the teacher-student romance? Hearing this, Xiao Xiao was dumbfounded. Her mouth agape. What did you say? Feng Jinwei then repeated, word for word. This master is asking if you can accept a teacher-student romance. Question mark. So I didn't mishear. But how could the divine doctor fall in love with me at first sight? He must be testing me. That must be it. Xiao Xiao was stunned. I feel that a teacher-student romance is a bit inappropriate. After falling in love with a student, a teacher can't treat them fairly. Before she could finish her sentence, Jinwei covered her mouth with his hand. Someone's here. He saw a pair of feet hiding on the other side. He pressed Xiao Xiao against him. Here, be careful. Xiao Xiao was dazed. Where's this story going? Yi Jioshin appeared, his face filled with anger. Feng Jinwei, let her go. Xiao Xiao was surprised. Royal uncle. Feng Jinwei held Xiao Xiao in his arms. Seeing Yi Jioshin arrive, he spoke up and asked, Yi Jioshin, what are you doing here? Yi Jioshin saw his hands holding Xiao Xiao tightly, and he became furious that if you don't let go, this king will cripple both your hands. Xiao Xiao turned around in surprise. What's wrong with royal uncle? He clearly wanted to ask the divine doctor to cure his heat poison, but as soon as he arrived, he got angry at the divine doctor. With this attitude, how could he possibly treat royal uncle? She quickly broke free and ran over in a panic. Wait, royal uncle, you've misunderstood. Xiao Xiao blocked Yi Jioshin's path. Just now, the divine doctor was testing me. We weren't doing anything. Hearing this, King Yi calmed down. Really? Xiao Xiao replied, absolutely. Yi Jioshin walked closer. Feng Jinwei, I'll let it slide this time. If you dare have any ill intentions towards by Xiao Xiao, this king will absolutely not spare you. He then left, signaling by Xiao Xiao, let's go. Xiao Xiao was furious. Damn it, has royal uncle gone mad? Did he forget he has heat poison and needs the divine doctor to cure him? Being so arrogant, sooner or later he'll be poisoned to death by the heat poison. She shyly approached Feng Jinwei. I'm sorry, Divine Doctor. Royal Uncle is not in a good mood today. Please don't hold it against him. Feng Jinhue questioned, you want this master to treat the poison in Yi Jioshan, right? Xiao Xiao replied, yes. He then said, then let me tell you, this master hates him and will absolutely not help. However, if this master's disciple pleads for him, then there's still room for negotiation. Xiao Xiao was stunned. The Divine Doctor's meaning is, Feng Jinhue told her, strive to be the best at the disciple recruitment conference and become this master's disciple. His eyes were deep. That way, this master can, as you wish, cure the heat poison in King Yi. Hearing this, Xiao Xiao was overjoyed that it's a deal. Divine Doctor, just wait and see me show my skills. I'm going to prepare now. I'll take my leave. Just then, footsteps were heard from behind. Feng Jinhue turned his head. Feng Jinue's friend, Li Feiyu, appeared, clapping. Indeed an interesting woman. No wonder Yi Jioshan has taken a liking to her. Jinhue was surprised. You guy, when did you get here? Feiyu said, you know full well this disciple recruitment conference is just a pretense. The truth is, your master is using this opportunity to find you a kind-hearted wife with high medical skills to continue the bloodline. Feiyu crossed his arms. And yet you told by Xiao Xiao to participate in the disciple recruitment conference. Could it be that you really intend to choose by Xiao Xiao? Jinhue immediately cut him off. Feiyu, do you really think I'm interested in her? Feiyu sneered. As if I don't know what you're thinking. You hate King Yi, just because people always compare the two of you. You hate it so much, yet you can't escape the gossip of the world. And now, a woman that Yi Jioshan likes has suddenly appeared. And as it happens, she wants to become your disciple. Jinhue said thoughtfully, this master will absolutely not favor by Xiao Xiao because of this. I also don't think she can win. The victory. Feiyu was surprised that I asked that so. How about we make a bet? If you say by Xiao Xiao can't win, then I'll bet she can win in the end and become your disciple. How about it? Jinhue asked back the wager. Feiyu then took out a jade pendant. If I lose, I'll steal my grandfather's heavenly mystic device for you. He thought to himself, he's been eyeing the heavenly mystic device for a long time. He definitely won't refuse. If you lose, you must do your best to pursue by Xiao Xiao and compete with the Night King. Hearing this, Jinhue was stunned again. This matter, at the Night God Manor. Yi Jioshan's powerful punch cracked the wall. What's wrong with me? Just now, seeing Feng Jinhue and by Xiao Xiao being close, I actually got angry. That feeling was as if something important in my heart had been stolen. He walked while looking up at the blue sky. By Xiao Xiao, you tell me, what exactly is this king's concern for you? The next day, Yi Jioshan and Xiao Xiao stepped down from the carriage, and a subordinate helped them. Your Highness Yi Jioshan, Miss Xiao Xiao, we have arrived at Wuyin Town. Rest at the inn for one night first. Tomorrow we will go to Jueching Valley to participate in the disciple recruitment assembly. Xiao Xiao looked outside, appearing worried. It's so crowded, and inside it's packed with people. Are all these people here to participate in the disciple recruitment assembly? Each one of them looks far from simple. Seeing the masked Yi Jioshan walk in, several people started whispering to each other. Two more competitors have arrived. Although we can't see that masked man's face, his gestures carry a very regal aura. I don't know if he's a king or not, but he must be handsome. A young lady appeared to welcome them. You two have finally arrived. Seeing her, Xiao Xiao was immediately annoyed. Why is she here? She came to invite them. Let's go. I have specially prepared rooms for you two. Yi Jioshan was also puzzled. What are you doing here? She replied, after all, Xiao Xiao passed my test. I naturally have to witness for myself how far she can go in my senior brother's disciple recruitment assembly. Xiao Xiao, I have high hopes for you. But tomorrow, you can't be careless. A moment of negligence and you'll be eliminated. Xiao Xiao retorted immediately. You don't need to worry about that. I will naturally do my best. No need to be a busybody. I think it's more like you're hoping I get eliminated soon. Then, she warmly led the way upstairs. Then I shall wait with eager eyes. Let's go upstairs to the rooms first. After going up a few steps, Xiao Xiao turned to look down and was surprised. What happened? She saw the figure of a woman entering from outside. Why is the Divine Doctor's disciple recruitment assembly full of beaux? Ties? Everyone watched her walk in majestically. Who is this? Why does she look a bit familiar? How shallow? You don't even recognize Du Xiener. That girl came to stand next to Xiao Xiao, crossed her arms, looked down, and said, I didn't expect senior brother to invite Du Xiener as well? Xiao Xiao asked in surprise. Who is Du Xiener? She immediately replied. A famous poison master renowned in the martial world, well-versed in medical principles, and even more skilled with hidden weapons. Hearing that, Xiao Xiao was shocked, her mouth agape. A poison master, well-versed in medical principles? Is this character's persona set up against mine? Du Xiener, this woman exudes a terrifying aura. She is indeed not an easy person to deal with. Xiao Xiao watched her walk by with 2 disciples. If we were to compete in tomorrow's recruitment assembly, she would be a formidable opponent. Du Xiener was gradually approaching the Night King. She froze, staring at him, that man. Seeing this, Xiao Xiao forced a smile. Imperial Uncle is already a lady killer even with his mask on. If he took it off, it would be even more incredible. When heaven created this man, Yi Jioshin, just how many women must he harm before it's satisfied? Du Xiener got close to him. Young master, could you move aside a little? I would like to pass. She stepped forward. Thank you, young master. Yi Jioshin quickly dodged, causing her to stumble and fall. Du Xiener was stunned, thinking to herself, the distance was clearly so close, yet this man still managed to get away. He is indeed no ordinary person. Watching from the side, Xiao Xiao was aghast. Then she grew angry, falling on such flat ground. Even if you're trying to act like you want to fall into a man's arms, it's way too obvious, you wretch. How dare you have designs on my imperial uncle? Du Xiener approached the Night King. This young master truly doesn't know how to cherish a woman. How could you dodge at a time like this? You should have held me tight and asked with concern. But she was immediately ignored. Yi Jioshin walked up to Xiao Xiao and stared at her. Is she right? Xiao Xiao was surprised. Why is he looking at me at a time like this? Du Xiener speculated. Could this be the young master's lover? How dare she get one step ahead of me? She truly doesn't know her own limits. Seeing her looking at her with eyes full of daggers, Xiao Xiao was terrified. Damn it, what's with that look? I'm just standing next to Imperial Uncle. How can I get caught in the crossfire like this? In the carriage, Tao Ruo'er asked by Xiao Xiao. Why isn't His Highness the Night King seen today? Hearing Tao Ruo'er say that, Bai Xiao Xiao replied, I don't know. Imperial Uncle only told me he wouldn't be coming to Jueching Valley with us. Bai Xiao Xiao thought to herself, perhaps it's because he and the Divine Doctor both hate each other. After hearing this, Tao Ruo'er said, oh, she thought to herself, even if she knew, she wouldn't tell me. So petty. Then the carriage stopped, and Bai Xiao Xiao lifted the curtain and went outside. We finally arrived. Inside Jueching Valley, someone said, all heroes who have come to participate in the Disciple Recruitment Assembly, please hand your invitation letters to us. Tao Ruo'er went in first, Bai Xiao Xiao followed behind, and gave a recommendation letter to the gatekeeper. After entering, Tao Ruo'er saw Yu Wuhan and stopped. Yu Wuhan approached, bowed, and said to Tao Ruo'er, Master. Tao Ruo'er then told her, Wuhan defeat Bai Xiao Xiao. Yu Wuhan bowed and replied, yes. In the stands, Bai Xiao Xiao saw Du Xiener and thought to herself, Du Xiener is here too. Among the 36 opponents in the main hall, she is the one I should be most wary of. At this moment, Zhao Wuk entered the examination hall, and upon seeing him, everyone started to murmur, what a handsome man. Seeing Zhao Wuk, Du Xiener smiled and thought to herself, I haven't seen him in a few years. I didn't expect him to become even more to my taste. Zhao Wuk walked up and introduced himself. I am Zhao Wuk, one of the Divine Doctor's 4 great guardians. The first round of the test will be envy. Heal it head by me. There are a total of 36 small carts here. Please feel free to choose one. Within the time it takes for 1 incense stick to burn, you must identify all the mixed herbs in the small cart and write them down on paper. There are 100 types of herbs in total. The others heard this and asked in astonishment. Identify 100 types of herbs. That's too outrageous. This is only the first round, and it's already this difficult. After hearing this, Bai Xiao Xiao thought to herself, indeed, testing 36 people one by one would be too time-consuming. So the first test must be super difficult to eliminate a large number of people. The ones who remain will be the elite of the elite. Zhao Wuk announced, no cheating is allowed during the test. It is about to begin. The contestants immediately ran off, saying, quick, quick, just pick one, hurry, and choose the herbs. At this moment, Bai Xiao Xiao's gaze met Yu Wuhan's. The two looked at each other and thought, this young woman is a strong opponent. Just then, someone kicked her and said, "Are you going to choose or not? Hurry up and get out of the way." Bai Xiao asked angrily. "Who was that?" The other person angrily scolded. "If you feel you don't have the ability, then hurry up and admit defeat and withdraw. Don't stand here like a block of wood, you disgraceful piece of trash." Bai Xiao thought to herself, "Arrogant and outrageous. I'll be the one to get you eliminated in the very first round." Pang Fian was extremely haughty. She put her hands on her hips, her face full of anger as she scolded Bai Xiao. "You're that Bai Xiao who got in through connections, right? Isn't it because you know Tao Ruo? Otherwise, how would someone with no reputation like you be qualified to participate in the Disciple Recruitment Assembly? Everyone participating in the Disciple Recruitment Assembly comes from a prestigious medicine pavilion like me. Someone like you who relies on connections should just hurry up and go home." After hearing Pang Fian's scolding, Bai Xiao remained calm. She showed no signs of anger and instead smiled and said to Pang Fian, "After that incense stick burns out, we'll see who should be the one to go home." When Pang Fian heard Bai Xiao say this, she thought to herself, "Competing with this kind of person who relies on connections is truly an insult. I must eliminate her in the first round." Then Bai Xiao focused on the herb card. Seeing that Bai Xiao was ignoring her words and just looking at the herb card, Pang Fian continued to scold her. "Useless trash. Don't pretend to be sorting. This isn't a place that garbage like you who relies on connections can challenge." After saying that, while Bai Xiao wasn't paying attention, Pang Fian reached out and shot a stone at the cart. That Bai Xiao had chosen, causing the cart to fall over. After doing it, she even exclaimed, "How is it that a piece of trash like you would choose something just as trashy?" It actually broke. Seeing Bai Xiao's herb cart fall over, everyone started to gossip. This Bai Xiao is really unlucky to be targeted by the young miss of the Pang family. Pang Fian's character is so unreasonable. She won't have a good outcome. Du Xiener, who was nearby, saw Bai Xiao being targeted by Pang Fian and said, "The time of one incense stick was already outrageous enough. With this mess, there's no way she can finish." Du Xiener thought to herself, "I originally thought Bai Xiao would be a troublesome character, but now it seems she'll be eliminated in the first round." Du Xiener then turned and left. "I have to go complete my own test. You can clean up this mess yourself." Seeing her herb cart overturned, although Bai Xiao knew Pang Fian did it, she still showed no anger. She didn't go to the invigilator to demand justice, but calmly sat down by the herb cart to start sorting. Zhao Wuk, who had witnessed everything, saw Bai Xiao's composure and made an assessment. This woman is not bad. Under Pang Fian's provocation, an ordinary person would either fight back or demand a ruling, but that would waste the already limited time. She understands this point very well, so she absolutely did not waste words on Pang Fian, only focusing on sorting. After a period of time, the examination time was over. Zhao Wuk shouted to the contestants, "Time's up. Stop writing immediately." Now, to announce the results of the first round, Pang Fian, below the stage, was extremely confident, thinking to herself, "Out of 100 herbs identified 99. Surely no one identified more than me. I can definitely get into the next round." But Zhao Wuk's announcement immediately proved her wrong. Zhao Wuk read the announcement of the names of those who could advance to the next round. Du Xiener, Yu Wuhan, Bai Xiao, Yin Jinxiu, Yin Ziming, Li Jianqing. These 6 people identified 100 types of herbs and will advance to the next round. The rest who were not named must leave Jeweling Valley immediately. Upon hearing the results, Pang Fian cried out in disbelief. "How can this be? I was only missing 1 herb. How could Bai Xiao, relying on her connections, identify them all correctly?" Hearing Pang Fian's words, Bai Xiao walked over to her and spoke. "Let me tell you why you lost. It's because you chose the wrong opponent. You were always thinking of ways to disturb me, plotting to get me kicked out of this competition. This wasted a lot of my time, but it also wasted a lot of your own time, leading to you not being able to pick out the last herb. You eliminated yourself." After hearing Bai Xiao's words, Pang Fian still refused to admit her mistake and cursed at Bai Xiao. "No, it's all your fault, you bitch. You said you would make me get eliminated in the first round, so you must have used some despicable trick." She then ran over to Zhao Wujue to complain. Young Master Zhao Wujue, she must have cheated, seeing how she shamelessly tried to harm Bai Xiao and was now framing the victim. Zhao Wujue angrily scolded her. The one who cheated was you. You repeatedly provoked Miss Bai and even pushed over her cart. Did you think we didn't see it? Eliminating you is already letting you off easy. After hearing this, Bai Xiao said to Pang Fian, eldest young Miss Pang, you should get lost and go back to your renowned great apothecary. Forgive me for not seeing you out. Hearing Bai Xiao say this, Pang Fian became even more furious and turned to curse. You bitch. Immediately, people from Jueching Valley came forward to drag Pang Fian away, saying, Miss Pang Fian, you should leave Jueching Valley now. Pang Fian was kicked out of the competition, but she refused to admit defeat and turned to shout, this isn't fair. As the eldest daughter of the Flower Medicine Pavilion, I was eliminated in the first round, but someone who relied on connections gets to enter the second round. This isn't fair. Just then, Tao Wu approached Pang Fian and said to her, if you hadn't wasted time disturbing Bai Xiao, you might have been able to pick out the last herb. Pang Fian turned and asked Tao Wu, who are you? Tao Wu smiled and said to Pang Fian, I'm someone who has come to help you. If Bai Xiao hadn't wasted your time, you definitely could have advanced. It's all her fault you were eliminated early. How can you be willing to swallow this anger? Pang Fian believed Tao Ruo's words and said angrily, of course I can't stand that bitch who used the back door. She ruined the glory that should have been mine. But what can I do now? Tao Ruo replied to Pang Fian, I know what to do, as long as you hate her enough. After saying that, Tao Ruo waved her hand. Pang Fian didn't notice that a hairpin had been stuck into her shoulder at some point. The poison from the hairpin quickly seeped into Pang Fian's body. Pang Fian's eyes gradually became vacant. That night, inside her bedroom, Bai Xiao was startled when she heard her room door open. She asked cautiously, who is it? Yi Jioshan appeared, walked closer, and covered Bai Xiao's mouth, saying, it is this king. Seeing Yi Jioshan, Bai Xiao breathed a sigh of relief and asked, Royal Uncle, you nearly scared me to death. Why are you here? Yi Jioshan walked in and said, seeing that you passed the first 2 rounds of tests, I came to visit you on the first day. I didn't expect you to be quite skilled, not bad. She smiled and said, of course, Royal Uncle. Who do you think I, Bai Xiao, am? Just then, Pang Fian punched a hole in the door of Bai Xiao's room and cursed. Bai Xiao, you despicable bitch. This is the price you'll pay for framing me, Pang Fian. Go to hell. Before she could make a move, Yi Jioshan had already grabbed her tightly by the neck, causing her to cry out, who is this? A demon. Yi Jioshan threw Pang Fian to the ground. Seeing this, Bai Xiao said, so it's you. I already spared you, yet you insist on coming here to seek death? Speak, who exactly sent you? Pang Fian asked, what do you mean? She replied, with your third-rate kung fu, there's no way you could have avoided the guards outside the courtyard. So you must have an accomplice, and one from Jueching Valley, Pang Fian. If you don't reveal your accomplice, there's only one outcome. Death. Pang Fian cried out, I'll talk. She is. Before she could finish, she was poisoned and collapsed. Yi Jioshan went over to check. She's dead. Seeing this, Bai Xiao said, is that? Yi Jioshan told her, Xiao, this is the mark left after using a needle for poisoning. After examining the body, Bai Xiao said, it seems the person behind this, to prevent Pang Fian from revealing their true identity, administered a slow-acting poison on her when she wasn't paying attention. Yi Jioshan cursed, which bastard dares to harm you? Even if I have to dig 3 feet into the ground and turn this entire Jueching Valley upside down, I will find the person behind this. Bai Xiao cried out, Royal Uncle. Yi Jioshan calmed down at that moment. So hot, so uncomfortable. She approached him and thought to herself, is it his chi rebelling against his heart, causing the heat poison to flare up? I must quickly find the divine doctor to treat the heat poison for Royal Uncle. The next day, Du Xiener and Bai Xiao were walking together. Yin Ziming and Yu Wuhan also appeared. Tao Rod said, congratulations to the 4 of you for making it this far. You only need to pass 1 more round to meet my senior brother. This round is a series of paired duels. The person who draws the same number as you will be your opponent. Bai Xiao went up and asked, why are you in charge of this? Where are the divine doctor's 4 great guardians? She replied, the guardians are all busy setting up the test, so I am conducting the draw on their behalf. Please. Xiao, you seem to be in good spirits today. She replied, I'm all right. She thought to herself, what does this woman's words mean? She drew a number and said, it seems the person who draws this number will be my opponent, but I wonder who it will be. Tao Rao ordered Yu Wuhan. You must win. Yu Wuhan replied, yes. Tao Rao thought to herself, by Xiao Xiao, you are sure to lose this time. Inside the competition room, the judges said, just now, you two used the various herbs here to modify your scorpions. Now, the poisonous scorpion duel officially begins. Whoever scorpion survives until the end will pass this round. Yu Wuhan smiled and said, last night, Master Tao Roar already told me the test question. I have prepared the most potent red-crowned crane poison in advance. By Xiao Xiao, you can't possibly use the herbs here to create a stronger poison. You're sure to lose. From the looks of it, the winner and loser are already clear. Yu Wuhan looked over at Bai Xiao Xiao and saw her smiling, thinking to herself, she's actually smiling. Just then, Yu Wuhan's scorpion lost. She said in shock, how is this possible? I actually lost. Bai Xiao Xiao said, you can't figure out why you lost, can you? Let me give you a hint. You can check my scorpion shell. Yu Wuhan checked and said in shock, this is Huayin powder. No wonder her scorpion could continue fighting after being stabbed. It's because when Huayin powder touches flesh and blood, it acts like a medicinal flower that can stimulate the scorpion to produce greater strength. She could actually think of using Huayin powder to revive the scorpion. Truly formidable. Afterwards, Bai Xiao Xiao went outside and saw Tao asking, Tao why are you still here? Tao Roar thought to herself. She was probably thoroughly defeated by Yu Wuhan, heartbroken and dispirited, right? You were lucky not to die last night. But today you'll have to get out of Jueching Valley anyway. She then asked, Xiao Xiao, what was the result? Bai Xiao Xiao smiled and said, I won. Hearing this, Tao Roar asked in shock, 1-1. Bai Xiao Xiao then asked her, is there a need to be so surprised? It seems you didn't think I could win at all, did you? Tao Roar immediately smiled and said, how could that be? I'm just happy for you. So happy that I couldn't react in time. Xiao Xiao, you are truly very capable. Congratulations on reaching the final round. Bai Xiao Xiao turned away, a chill running down her spine. This woman is truly terrifying. Tao Roar crossed her arms and thought to herself, damn it, is Yu Wuhan useless trash? How could she lose to that bitch Bai Xiao Xiao with such an advantage? Bai Xiao Xiao thought to herself, just now, Tao Roar's expression was as if she thought I was sure to lose. Du Sienna walked over to her and said, Xiao Xiao, so the last two remaining are indeed the two of us. However, at most, you can only make it this far. Later, when you're getting kicked out of Jueching Valley, try not to look too pathetic. Hearing this, Bai Xiao Xiao turned her head in confusion. Zhao Wujue walked over and said, you two, stop poking at each other with your words. Come with me to the back mountain to meet His Highness. Then, Zhao Wujue led the two of them over. He pushed open the door and said, go in. His Highness is waiting for you two. Feng Jinhue smiled and said, congratulations to you both for making it this far. Seeing him, Du Sienner said, this enchanting demon, this alluring and ascetic aura is exactly as the legends say. I can barely take it anymore. Feng Jinhue said, there is a kitchen behind the pavilion. The two of you will use the ingredients inside to make a dish for this venerable one to try within half an hour. Whoever's dish suits this venerable one's taste will become this venerable one's disciple. Hearing this, Bai Xiao Xiao thought to herself, making a dish has nothing to do with testing medical skills. That's too arbitrary. Du Sienner said, Divine Dr. Feng, this is the first time I'm cooking for someone else. You must savor it well later. She immediately swayed seductively towards Feng Jinhue, but he dodged her. She thought to herself, so cold. Seeing this, Bai Xiao Xiao also broke into a sweat, thinking, it seems there's no shortage of lewd women in any era. Then, the two of them left. Feng Jinhue said, come out. They have already entered the kitchen. Yi Jioshin then asked, Feng Jinhue, what exactly are you trying to do? The true intention of this disciple recruitment conference isn't that simple, is it? Feng Jinhue replied, just wait and see, King Yi. Once this disciple recruitment conference has a final result, I will let you know my true intention. Yi Jioshin replied, then this king will wait and see. Feng Jinhue smiled and said, but when that time comes, King Yi, will you really bear to let Bai Xiao Xiao become my disciple? Yi Jioshin thought to himself, Bai Xiao Xiao, this prince doesn't know whether to hope you win or lose. If you really become his disciple, what reason would this prince have to stay by your side? After a while, Feng Jinhue said, time is up. Stop and bring up the dishes. Half an hour later, Du Siener brought her food over and said, Divine Physician Phone, this is the first-grade bird's nest soup I made for you. This first-grade bird's nest soup is meticulously refined from the nests of top-quality swifts from the early rainy season. Its flavor is delicious and palatable. It nourishes essence and blood, replenishes yin and tonifies the kidneys, and supports the stomach. Bai Xiao Xiao at the side said, all right, this isn't some gourmet food show. Du Siener passed the food over. Watching his Feng Jinyue took a spoonful, thinking to herself, I specially added opium powder to the bird's nest soup I cooked. Even if he's a divine physician, one bite will surely get him addicted. After eating, Feng Jinyue turned to ask Bai Xiao Xiao, what did you make? Bai Xiao Xiao brought her dish up and said, Xiao Xiao's super invincible egg fried rice. Seeing this, Du Siener smiled and said, such big talk for just an extremely ordinary plate of egg fried rice. Do you think the divine physician is some country bumpkin? Du Siener thought to herself, I can't believe Bai Xiao Xiao is truly this useless. It seems I'm sure to win this time. Who would have thought that as soon as Feng Jinyue took a spoonful, his eyes lit up. Bai Xiao Xiao at his side immediately asked, How is it? How is it? Feng Jinyue replied, Bai Xiao Xiao, congratulations, you've won. Hearing this, Du Siener was startled and asked, An ordinary plate of egg fried rice actually beat my first-grade bird's nest soup? I clearly put opium powder in the bird's nest soup. Feng Jinyue then scolded Du Siener. Although your bird's nest soup is precious, top grade, and a rare delicacy in a mortal world, you have ruined it. To make a good dish, the important thing is not a flavor that makes people addicted, but one that lets them feel the heart of the person who made it. This round was not a test of medical skills, nor of using poison, but of using your two hearts, and this is the difference between you and Bai Xiao Xiao. After hearing this, Du Siener asked, Heart, he said, try Bai Xiao Xiao's egg fried rice, and you will know how different our intentions are. After eating, Du Siener thought to herself, This feeling is exactly like the egg fried rice my grandmother personally made for me when I was little. It's the taste of home. Du Siener cried out, Bai Xiao Xiao, I have truly lost to you this time. But don't get complacent, I will definitely be back. Bai Xiao Xiao replied, the classic trope of spouting harsh words after a failure. When will the villains ever come up with something new? Then, Feng Jinyue said to her, Bai Xiao Xiao, you have successfully passed this Venerable One's final test. But whether or not you ultimately want to become this Venerable One's disciple is for you to decide. She immediately asked, Divine Physician, what do you mean? Shouldn't I directly become the disciple of the Divine Physician? Feng Jinyue asked her, if this Venerable One said that my disciple must also be my wife, would you still be willing? After hearing this, she was startled and asked, What did you say? Feng Jinyue replied, This time, this Venerable One held a disciple recruitment conference to select a disciple. It was on my master's orders to choose a woman whose medical skills could catch my eye, whose character meets my requirements, and who is also the person who must marry me to continue the bloodline. After hearing this, she was startled and thought to herself, this joke has gone a little too far. Feng Jinyue continued, Bai Xiao Xiao, this Venerable One hopes you will answer this question carefully. Do you, in the end, want to become this Venerable One's disciple? Just then, Yi Jiuchen appeared and said, Absolutely not. Bai Xiao Xiao cried out, Imperial Uncle. Feng Jinyue said, This Venerable One was not asking you. Yi Jiuchen's face darkened. You want to steal my woman? Feng Jinyue, do you want to declare war on this? Prince? Feng Jinyue then asked, Prince he, Bai Xiao Xiao was never yours to begin with. So how can you speak of stealing or not stealing? You even meddle in the affairs of your imperial nephew and your own. Could it be that you truly like Bai Xiao Xiao? After hearing this, she thought to herself, like, Imperial Uncle likes me? That's completely impossible. Yi Jiuchen then said, This prince does not need to answer you. Bai Xiao Xiao is my person. If you want her, you'll have to see if I agree first. Feng Jinyue then said, Then there is nothing more to say between us. Bai Xiao Xiao blushed and thought to herself, Imperial Uncle said, I'm his person. Yi Jiuchen and Feng Jinyue looked at each other, the two exuding the aura of a dragon and phoenix in conflict. Yi Jiuchen gathered his spiritual power and said, Feng Jinyue, if you want to steal this prince's person, you can wait another 800 lifetimes. Yi Jiuchen struck with a palm towards Feng Jin. Feng Jinyue quickly leaped from his chair to dodge the blow and exclaimed, Prince Yi, Loveless Valley is not a place for you to act so outre. Jealously. Then, a needle immediately shot out towards Yi Jiuchen, but as it got close to him, it was deflected and flew towards Bai Xiao Xiao. Seeing this, Yi Jiuchen and Feng Jinhua cried out, "Bai Xiao Xiao!" Just then, Li Feiyu appeared, flicking his fan to knock the needle away, and said, "If you two wish to duel, I'm afraid you'll have to choose another place. It's no matter if Loveless Valley is destroyed by you two, but if Miss Bai gets hurt, it would be truly heartbreaking." Seeing this, Bai Xiao Xiao thought to herself, "Who is this person?" Yi Jiuchen said, "Li Feiyu, why are you here?" Feng Jinhua also asked, "Feiyu, weren't you waiting in the valley? What are you doing out here?" Li Feiyu replied, "I'm a friend of the divine physician, so of course I can appear here." Bai Xiao Xiao thought to herself, "Imperial uncle knows him. It seems this guy is no simple character." Li Feiyu continued, "Miss Bai, Jinhua must choose a wife at the disciple recruitment conference. This time, it is an order from his master, Immortal Xianin. Immortal Xianin hopes that Jinhua can unite with a woman of outstanding foundation so that the next generation can become world-renowned physicians." After hearing this, Bai Xiao Xiao said, "If I had known this earlier, I would not have come to participate in this disciple recruitment conference. Feng Jinhua, I will not marry you, but you already agreed with me. As long as I pass this disciple recruitment conference, you will cure the heat poison in the Imperial uncle. You must keep your word." Feng Jinhua replied, "You don't intend to become this venerable one's disciple, yet you still want me to cure the heat poison in Prince Yi? In your dreams." Bai Xiao Xiao angrily cursed, "Damn you, what kind of divine physician are you? You're clearly a despicable liar." Yi Jiuchen led Bai Xiao Xiao away, saying, "No need to say more. Bai Xiao Xiao, let's go." She said, "I'm done with you. Marriage fraud, scumbag." As Bai Xiao Xiao walked out with Yi Jiuchen, she cursed, "This is making me so mad. To think Feng Jinhua had such an agenda. What is wrong with his brain? And another thing, his master too. Why would he give his own disciple such a terrible idea?" Yi Jiuchen asked Bai Xiao Xiao, "Do you really not have any feelings for Feng Jinhua?" She immediately asked, "Imperial uncle, what do you mean?" He said, "Feng Jinhua is also a handsome man on par with this venerable one." She then said, "But he also needs to have an upright character. What's the use of a handsome man with a dark heart? To think I had a decent impression of him before. I never expected him to be the most despicable of all the despicable people." He said to her, "But you wanted to learn his medical skills so badly before. If all of this was really for the sake of being with Feng Jinhua, then do you hate this prince for showing up and ruining things just now?" She asked angrily, "Hey, Imperial uncle, what kind of woman do you take me for? Yes, I Xiao like handsome men, but I don't like men who lie to me, especially with such a despicable act of marriage fraud." He replied, "This prince was just worried that you would blame me in your heart." He thought to himself, "What in the world is wrong with this prince? Why does Feng Jinhua's appearance make me feel so uneasy? Why do I care so much about Bai Xiao Xiao's thoughts on Feng Jinhua, even to the point of questioning her?" Bai Xiao Xiao angrily cursed, "Go to hell, Imperial uncle. You actually doubt me. Talking to a man like you is infuriating. Truly, no man is any good, especially you devastatingly handsome ones." Yi Jiuchen ran up and grabbed her hand, saying, "Bai Xiao Xiao, who are you cursing?" "Imperial uncle, I'm in a bad mood right now. Even if it's you who angers me, I'll still hit you." After hearing this, Yi Jiuchen was startled. Then he fell down, thinking to himself, "It's happening." She cried out, "Imperial uncle." Yi Jiuchen clutched his body, fell to the ground, and cried out, "Damn it, it's so hot, so uncomfortable." Bai Xiao Xiao ran over and said, "Imperial uncle, is the heat poison in your body acting up?" Yi Jiuchen spoke up, "Bai Xiao Xiao, leave quickly, or else this prince will take you." Bai Xiao Xiao immediately scolded him, "Leave my ass. How can you tell me to leave when you're like this?" He then asked, "Bai Xiao Xiao, do you want to duel cultivate with this prince that badly?" She then said, "If the Imperial uncle needs it." He frowned and said, "How could this prince do something like taking advantage of you? This prince wants you to be with this prince willingly." She then said, "Then there's only one way. Imperial uncle, I have to knock you out, then go find the divine physician to detoxify you." Yi Jiuchen turned his face away and said, "I'd rather die than have that guy detoxify me." But she didn't listen and knocked him out, still being stubborn at a time like this. "Imperial uncle, you should lose some weight with me. You're too heavy." After that, Bai Xiao Xiao brought him back to the entrance of the main courtyard. Seeing her return, Li Feiyu asked in confusion. Bai Xiao Xiao. Zhao Wuk asked. The person she's dragging, is that Prince He? Bai Xiao Xiao said. I want to see Feng Jinhua. Zhao Wuk said. His Highness is resting and not seeing outsiders. She immediately pushed Yi Jiuchen onto Zhao Wuk. I'm not an outsider. Here, help me hold him. Zhao Wuk caught the man. Then Bai Xiao Xiao stormed in aggressively. Seeing this, Zhao Wuk said, why didn't you stop her? His Highness is bathing. For her to barge in, Li Feiyu said, it's more interesting precisely because he's bathing. Bai Xiao Xiao lifted the curtain and said, Feng Jinhua, where are you? Get out here. Feng Jinhua asked, did no one teach you that it's rude to peek at others while they're bathing? You have no regard for your own reputation. She then said, a life is at stake. Who cares about etiquette? It's not like I'm doing anything I can't be seen doing. I am very innocent. He said, a life is at stake. Could it be that the Night King's heat poison has flared up again? She replied, Royal Uncle is in critical danger now. Only you can save Royal Uncle. I already said I won't save him. Don't waste my precious bath time. She rushed in and said, you, how can you call yourself a divine doctor if you see someone dying and refuse to save them? She immediately pulled him. Even if I have to drag you, I will drag you to save Royal Uncle. Feng Jinhua stood up and wrapped a towel tightly around his waist. She replied, you, what are you trying to do? I'm warning you. If you come any closer, I'll show you what I'm made of. He asked, you want to show this venerable one what you're made of? How? He immediately moved closer to her. She pushed him away, saying, get away, you marriage-scamming scumbag. Then she touched his chest and thought in shock, what I just touched was. Feng Jinhua lifted her chin and said, Bai Xiao Xiao, you are challenging this venerable one's bottom line. Bai Xiao Xiao blushed. Sorry, you were the one who pushed me against the wall first. This has nothing to do with me. Stop. Feng Jinhua, even if you have me, you will never have my heart. If you really force yourself on me, I will definitely make you pay. Feng Jinhua grabbed her hand. What nonsense are you spouting? This venerable one will not do anything to you. But if you want this venerable one to save the Night King, you must become this king's disciple. This venerable one doesn't care if you're the Night King's woman or not. In any case, you and the Night King are not married. Before that happens, this venerable one will definitely snatch you over. She immediately said, Feng Jinhua, don't even dream of it. I will never like someone like you. Let go, you villain. He asked her, don't you want to save the Night King? You choose. Bai Xiao Xiao, will you become this venerable one's disciple for the Night King's sake or not? She thought to herself, what on earth should I do? No, I can't. Royal Uncle is suffering from the heat poison. I absolutely cannot abandon him. For Royal Uncle's sake, even if. She immediately said, I agree to become your disciple. Feng Jinhua asked, Bai Xiao Xiao, are you really willing to go this far for the Night King? This venerable one is truly surprised. Our master-disciple relationship is now established. But I have one condition. This venerable one wants you to swear that you will absolutely not fall in love with this venerable one. She asked angrily, you think I would fall for you? You narcissist. Wait, Feng Jinhua, what do you mean? One moment you say you want to snatch me from Royal Uncle, the next you tell me not to fall for you. Your words contradict each other. Do you find this fun? She thought to herself, this Feng Jinhua can't be insane, can he? Feng Jinhua said, my master wants me to marry my disciple, but the prerequisite is that the master and disciple must be mutually in love. If we don't love each other, this fate my master set out for me will not count. This king wants to see to what extent you would go for the Night King. Now it seems that with that man, the Night King, in the picture, you will absolutely not have any improper thoughts about this king. She immediately asked, you mean everything you just said was to test me, because you want to find a disciple who will absolutely not fall for you? He said, you can think of it as a transaction. You help this venerable one put on an act in front of my master, and this venerable one will teach you medical arts and help you treat the Night King. She scolded, then why didn't you just say so from the start? You made me so angry I could have died. He then said, many women have used the master-disciple relationship as an excuse to get close to me, all with the goal of having this venerable one. This venerable one had to confirm that you're not like those women. She thought to herself, how has he not been beaten up for being such a narcissist? She said angrily, Bai Xiao Xiao, wouldn't fall for you even if my damn eyes were blinded by 24K titanium alloy. Feng Jinhua smiled and said, since you are now this venerable one's disciple, let me hear you call me master. She thought angrily, go to hell, taking advantage of me so quickly. She uttered, master. He smiled and said, very good, disciple. Although that call held no respect for this venerable one, we have plenty of time to slowly teach you in the future. She thought to herself, teach me? This bastard, does he want to fight? Feng Jinhua ordered, carry his highness, the Night King in. The Night King was panting at this moment. She spoke up and asked, do you need my help? Feng Jinhua replied, of course. It is only right for a disciple to help her own master. Also, from now on, remember to add the word master when you address this venerable one. That's how you show respect. She cursed angrily. To have this Feng Jinhua as my master. This master's arrogance is higher than the heavens. Feng Jinhua lifted Yi Jiuchen's shirt. Seeing this, Bai Xiao Xiao thought, two peerless handsome men who were always at each other's throats. Now one is unconscious on the bed, while the other gently touches his body. Isn't this a peerless, one-of-a-kind love? Yi Jiuchen let out a cry. Feng Jinhua began applying needles, his speed incredibly fast. She saw this and thought, so intense. This must be the legendary 1,000 hands of wind and moon. This guy is worthy of being called a divine doctor. Even royal uncle acknowledges his skills. If only he could fix that rotten personality of his. It would be wonderful for Bai Xiao Xiao to be Feng Jinhua's disciple. He called out, Bai Xiao Xiao. She immediately asked, Master Feng, what is it? Feng Jinhua pointed at Yi Jiuchen's body and said, take off his pants. Her face immediately turned red upon hearing this. Feng Jinhua ordered Bai Xiao Xiao, hurry and take off his pants. I need to apply needles to his thighs as well. Bai Xiao Xiao immediately asked, can't you take them off? Feng Jinhua then asked her, when a doctor is saving a life, do you still care about gender? Hearing this, Bai Xiao Xiao broke into a sweat and replied yes. She thought to herself, oh, come on, asking me to take off royal uncle's pants in front of you is really weird. Then Bai Xiao Xiao went forward, closed her eyes, and pulled down his pants. She looked blushed and said that is. She covered her mouth and thought, the master has already fainted. How is that still so spirited? Bai Xiao Xiao slapped her face and exclaimed, wait, now is not the time to be concerned with this. Save him. Bring out your professionalism as a medical practitioner. After a while, Feng Jinhua removed the needles and said, acupuncture is done. Help the Night King to the medicine spring. That's the only way to better force the toxins out of his body. Bai Xiao Xiao heard this, licked her lips, and thought, if it's the medicine spring, doesn't that mean I have to strip royal uncle completely, see everything, throw him into the pool, and then touch him all over? She started to imagine it, and then pictured the scene of getting her but kicked out, saying, wait, I can't even go to the bathroom. But my fate will most likely be this. Bai Xiao Xiao immediately said, Master, can you get someone else to do it? Feng Jinhua was puzzled upon hearing this. Bai Xiao Xiao hurriedly waved her hands, trembling. No change, no change. I'll help royal uncle to the medicine spring right away. Afterwards, she helped Yi Jiuchen sit in the medicine spring, wiped his body, and sighed, royal uncle, you must be safe and sound. At this moment, Yi Jiuchen opened his eyes and cried out, what's going on? Where am I? Bai Xiao Xiao, what are you doing? She immediately said to him, royal uncle, you're awake. Master saved you. He asked in shock, Master, don't tell me you've taken Feng Jinhua as your master. He immediately stood up, thinking she went to Feng Jinhua for help. Doesn't that mean she has become his woman? He said angrily, hey, woman, why didn't you listen to this king? She immediately pushed him back down into the water. Royal uncle, listen to my explanation. Sit down first, your bird is showing. He angrily grabbed her hand. Bai Xiao Xiao, if you don't explain clearly, this king will kill you. She said, royal uncle, actually, what happened before was master testing me. He only said those things because he wanted to make sure I don't like him. Master demanded that I must not fall for him. I just have to put on an act with him in front of his master. I don't lose anything, and I can help royal uncle cure his heat poison. It's a great thing. He frowned and said, How is that possible? How could Feng Jinhua be so kind? He thought to himself, no, delays breed trouble. This king cannot let Bai Xiao continue to stay by Feng Jinua's side. Thump! At this moment, someone spoke up. Miss Bai, master invites you to his room. He frowned and asked, what does this Feng Jinhua want now? She smiled and said, Royal uncle, don't worry. He must just be giving me instructions on your medicine. I'll go and be right back. In Feng Jinua's room, she entered and asked, Master, you were looking for me? He replied, you are now this venerable one's disciple. In the future, many people will surely be jealous, but you have not yet awakened your spiritual power. This venerable one is worried you cannot protect yourself. She replied, troubled, I know that too, but I heard it takes a very long time to awaken one's spiritual power. He said, just drink this, and you'll be able to use spiritual power very soon. Her eyes lit up as she asked, what is this? Feng Jinhua asked her, aren't you afraid that the medicine this venerable one is giving you is poison? She replied, when I, Bai Xiao, call you master, it means I have acknowledged you. Even if you really gave me poison to drink, I would. Take it. He exhaled and said, the medicine I'm giving you is a marrow cleansing pill. It can instantly open up your dantian, allowing you to use spiritual power. She replied happily, I knew master was the best to me. After drinking it, she felt her body and asked, is this what's called spiritual power? Feng Jinhua took off his shirt and asked, how does it feel? She replied, it's so warm. Her face flushed as she asked, you, why are you taking off your clothes without a word? He replied, as your master, I will use acupoint techniques combined with external methods to regulate and increase the spiritual power in your body. She backed away and said, what does that have to do with taking off clothes? He replied, only through skin-to-skin contact can it be opened up better. Therefore, you must take yours off too. She heard this, was startled, and thought to herself, damn, this is the exact same trap from the martial arts novels. Feng Jinhua asked her, what are you thinking? Do you think this venerable one would have improper thoughts about someone like you? She said angrily, what do you mean by that? If you want to take them off, I'll take them off. Who's afraid of whom? She thought to herself, this is to increase my spiritual power. Feng Jinhua doesn't care. Bai Xiao pondered, why am I overthinking this? Calm down. This is like treating an injured person. It's unavoidable to see someone else's body. I'll just go for it. She took off her top and said, Master, it's best not to let Royal Uncle know about this. I'm not gay. Why would I go looking for unnecessary trouble by letting him know? Just showing your back is enough. It will hurt a little, so bear with it. Then he used his spiritual power to touch her body. She cried out that don't say such misleading things at a time like this. It really makes one's mind wander. Phuong Cam Viet inserted the needle into her body. She trembled and let out a cry. After he pulled the needle out, she spat out a mouthful of blood. Phuong Cam Viet asked her, what do you feel? She replied excitedly, my body feels many times better. It's so comfortable, I feel like all the toxins in my body have been eliminated, and there's a feeling of lightness as if I've lost 5 kilograms. Master, you should open a weight loss wellness center. I definitely will. He turned and said, your clothes are still not properly worn. She immediately tensed up, put on her clothes, and pushed the door open, saying, I'm a person with spiritual power now. If Imperial Uncle finds out, he'll definitely be shocked. As soon as she stepped outside, DeQ then grabbed her hand. She said in surprise, Imperial Uncle, it's you? You scared me to death. Why do you look so angry? DeQ then said angrily, just now, this king saw you run out of Phuong Cam Viet's room with your clothes in disarray. She replied, Imperial Uncle, what are you talking about? You suspect me? He fumed. It can't be called suspicion. You're both fat and ugly. How could a man like Phuong Cam Viet possibly be interested in you? This king just wants you to explain what you and he were doing just now. She immediately said, Imperial Uncle, you've misunderstood. Master was just helping me awaken my spiritual power. He asked, how come I didn't know that awakening spiritual power requires taking off one's clothes? Surely that Phuong Cam Viet fellow didn't take the opportunity to take advantage of you, did he? She immediately said, Imperial Uncle, what are you saying? Can you not think like that? You've just become his disciple, and you're already defending him. Do I not know your personality? You like handsome men so much. If you dare to have feelings for your master, this king will definitely eat you alive and chop you up to feed the dogs. She pushed him away and said, Imperial Uncle, you're being too tyrannical. Who doesn't love beautiful things? Why can't I? He said angrily, because you took this king's first time, you must now pay the price. If you dare to stand before me and say you like your master, this king will kill you immediately. She immediately said, I like my master. Imperial uncle, kill me. He said angrily, Bok Chu Chu, you would actually talk back to me for a master you just acknowledged. It seems he is more important than me in your heart. After saying that, he left. She said angrily, Imperial uncle, really? Don't I have the right to admire other handsome men? It's not like I like him just because he's handsome. The person I like is... She exclaimed in alarm, oh no, Imperial uncle has gone to find master. What if the two men fight again? She ran after him, saying, Imperial uncle, Imperial uncle. At that moment, an arrow shot towards her. Bok Chu Chu immediately dodged the incoming arrow and turned around angrily to ask, who's there? Standing on the eaves was a man in a black cloak. He immediately jumped down, thrusting his sword towards Bok Chu Chu. Bok Chu Chu nimbly dodged, but it still left a scratch on her face. The assassin continued to attack Bok Chu Chu. However, Bok Chu Chu continuously managed to dodge, thinking to herself, this person's movements in my eyes have actually become slower. This must also be the effect of spiritual power. Bok Chu Chu immediately shot out needles, blinding the person's eyes. Then she immediately unleashed her spiritual power to strike him, scolding, how dare you ambush me? Take this. She approached the person's body, thinking to herself, what is this person's identity? Why do you want to kill me? This is the smell of gas. As soon as she finished speaking, the assassin's body immediately exploded. Bok Chu Chu cried out, oh no, it's a bomb. She thought to herself, am I going to die here? No, I don't want to die. I still want to see Imperial Uncle. At that moment, Phuong Cam Viet appeared, pulling her into his arms and shielding her from the blast wave. He asked, Bok Chu Chu, are you all right? He knelt down in pain. She immediately asked, why did you save me? He replied, because you're my disciple. Then she saw the wound on his back. Master, let me give you some first aid. It will hurt a lot, master. Phuong Cam Viet said, just bear with it for a moment. She asked him, Master, why did you appear here? He answered, this venerable one originally wanted to tell you that the Night King has left the Loveless Valley, but I ran into you being assassinated. She asked tearfully, Imperial Uncle has left. Then she started to sob. Phuong Cam Viet turned and wiped her tears. The Night King just went to handle some matters. You are my disciple. Without him, you still have me to protect you. Don't be afraid. The bomb just now was developed by the Crescent Moon Hall. It's a human bomb. Its destructive power cannot be underestimated. Fortunately, I, your master, arrived in time, so nothing major happened. She thought to herself, Phuong Cam Viet is as noble as a god, yet for my sake, for Bok Chu Chu, he got himself injured like this. And before Phuong Cam Viet patted her head and asked, what's wrong? My disciple, were you hurt by the sword just now? Hurt? She cried out tearfully, Master, I'm such an idiot. An idiot. I used to suspect that you only took me as a disciple to use me. But you, Phuong Cam Viet said, it's normal for a master to protect his disciple. You don't need to blame yourself. Then his face turned pale. She supported him and said, Master, let me help you to the medicine room to bandage your wound and change into new clothes. Otherwise, the wound. Phuong Cam Viet coughed up a mouthful of blood and collapsed to the ground. Seeing this, Bok Chu Chu panicked. Master, Master. Inside the room, Phuong Cam Viet woke up. Seeing that he was awake, Bok Chu Chu happily ran over and said to him, Master, you're finally awake. Phuong Cam Viet sat up and, seeing Bok Chu Chu, asked, have you been taking care of me all this time? Then Phuong Cam Viet sensed something. He looked down at his bare body, wrapped only in bandages with nothing else for cover. He shyly used his hands to cover his body and asked Bok Chu Chu, my clothes. It wasn't you who? Seeing Phuong Cam Viet's suspicion, Bok Chu Chu hurriedly waved her hands and explained, no. I told Tru Vo Kiet to take them off. At this moment, Tru Vo Kiet entered, bowed to Phuong Cam Viet, and reported, Master, I just found this in the explosion area. The person who attacked Lady Bok was carrying it. Tru Vo Kiet presented a jade pendant. Bok Chu Chu waved and gestured to Tru Vo Kiet, saying, quick, tell Master that you were the one who took off his clothes. Bok Chu Chu noticed the jade pendant that Tru Vo Kiet brought and said, I think I've seen this somewhere before. Phuong Cam Viet took the jade stone that Tru Vo Kiet presented and said, this jade stone is a token of the Peerless Valley. This jade's heat resistance is extremely high. making it difficult to destroy. In this world, besides me and my master, only my junior sister, who is also a successor of the Peerless Valley like me, has this token. After hearing the explanation of the jade's origin, Bok Chu Chu asked, could it be that Dao Nuoc Ni is behind all of this? Seeing Bok Chu Chu's suspect, Dao Nuoc Ni, Phuong Cam Viet said to her, my junior sister has no grudge against you. Why would she do this? Besides, she couldn't possibly know how to make a human bomb. The only one who understands how to make human bombs is the puppet master of the Crescent Moon Hall, the Black Widow. Seeing Phuong Cam Viet defending Dao Nuoc Ni, Bok Chu Chu pouted angrily and thought to herself, I have no grudge against her. Whether she has a grudge against me is another story. Bok Chu Chu then recounted to Phuong Cam Viet, Master, I was attacked like this before. The one behind it is proficient in medicine, understands the security situation at the Loveless Valley, and has a token from the Peerless Valley. Beside Dao Nuoc Ni, there is no one else. I know Dao Nuoc Ni is your junior sister. Hearing Bok Chu Chu say this, Phuong Cam Viet told her, don't misunderstand. If my junior sister really did such a harmful thing and colluded with the Crescent Moon Hall, I will definitely not forgive her. But you must have concrete evidence to prove she did it. Hearing Phuong Cam Viet say this, Bok Chu Chu immediately ran outside. As she ran, she said, don't worry, master. I'll go find evidence right away. Bok Chu Chu suddenly turned back, making Phuong Cam Viet break into a sweat. Bok Chu Chu asked Phuong Cam Viet, but Dao Nuoc Ni isn't in the Loveless Valley. Where did she go? True Vo Kiet immediately answered Bok Chu Chu. When the Night King left, she went with him. I couldn't stop her. Phuong Cam Viet said to Bok Chu Chu, I'll send a letter to the Night King to ask where my junior sister is. The Night King has replied to the letter. When Phuong Cam Viet entered her room, he was startled and asked, what are you doing? Bok Chu Chu, who was doing yoga, replied to him, regulating my emotions. Witnessing Bok Chu Chu's incomprehensible movements, Phuong Cam Viet couldn't help but wonder to himself, did I really take on a strange disciple? After finishing her exercise, Bok Chu Chu excitedly went to him and asked, where did Imperial uncles say Dao Nuoc Ni is? Phuong Cam Viet answered her, Tan Chao City. Later, at the Imperial Medicine Pavilion in Tan Chao City, Dao Nuoc Ni was standing behind the counter and said angrily, that heartless Night King. I went through so much trouble to follow him, yet he still finds me an eyesore and casually sent me here to collect money. At that moment, Phuong Cam Viet walked in and called out, junior sister. Dao Nuoc Ni looked up, startled, and asked, senior brother? Diu. Bok Chu Chu stepped forward and asked Dao Nuoc Ni, have you ever heard of the evil moon called human bombs? Dao Nuoc Ni immediately replied to Bok Chu Chu, of course I have. How could I not have heard of such an inhuman bomb? Bok Chu Chu told Dao Nuoc Ni, half a month ago, I was attacked by a human bomb. If Master hadn't saved me, I would have died for sure. Dao Nuoc Ni feigned surprise and asked Bok Chu Chu, then are you alright? Chu Chu, I can't believe the members of the evil moon cult would actually plot against you. They must be trying to indirectly harm His Highness the Night King by dealing with you. They truly deserve to die. Seeing Dao Nuoc Ni say this, Bok Chu Chu thought to herself, if this woman is really acting, then her acting skills are truly terrifying. Dao Nuoc Ni kontin toats bak tiu. Senior brother, why are you two looking at me so strangely? Phuong Cam Viet took out the gemstone they had found and showed it to Dao Nuoc Ni. We found this on the human bomb. After looking at it, Dao Nuoc Ni said to Phuong Cam Viet, this is a gemstone from the Peerless Valley. Could it be that you two suspect me? Outwardly, she pretended these matters had nothing to do with her, but inwardly, she was fuming. That idiot, I gave him the Wushuang Valley token for contact, but he ended up carrying the token when he went to attack by Xiao Xiao. Isn't this just implicating me? Tao Ruor knew they suspected she was behind this, so she pretended to grab by Xiao Xiao's hand and asked, Xiao Xiao, you and I have no grievances or grudges. I even treat you like a sister. How could I harm you? Bai Xiao Xiao frowned, and said to Tao Ruo, "Right now, you are the most suspicious person. Otherwise, how do you explain this token? Moreover, Pang Fian's attack on me before was also manipulated by you, wasn't it?" Hearing Bai Xiao question her like that, Tao Ruo immediately asked, "For the past half-month, I have been in Xinzhou City, 1,000 miles away from Jueching Valley. How could I manipulate a human flesh bomb to attack you?" Bai Xiao replied, "Who knows if what you're saying is true or false?" Tao Ruo took out an item and said to her, "This can prove my innocence." Bai Xiao asked her back, "What is this?" Tao Ruo answered her, "This is a positioning bead. His Highness the Night King told me to carry it with me. Through the positioning bead, His Highness the Night King can know my specific location at any time. It can prove that I have always been in Xinzhou City." After hearing this, Bai Xiao thought to herself, Imperial Uncle did indeed say before that he used some method to monitor Tao Ruo's every move, so it was the positioning bead. I didn't expect her to use the positioning bead to clear her own suspicion. Bai Xiao said angrily, "Tao Ruo, no matter what, I will definitely investigate this matter thoroughly and find evidence. If I, Bai Xiao, have truly misunderstood you, I will personally come to your door to apologize. At that time, you can punish me however you wish." Then Bai Xiao left with Feng Jinwei. Tao Ruo watched Bai Xiao leave, gritting her teeth and thinking to herself, "Damn it, I was almost exposed. But Bai Xiao, the same mistake will not happen to me. Tao Ruo, the second time, I will soon make you and His Highness the Night King separated by life and death." In the evening, Bai Xiao lay on the bed. "I must find evidence to prove that Tao Ruo is the one behind this. But how on earth should I do it?" Just then, someone covered her mouth. She was startled and thought to herself, "Who?" Yi Jioshin spoke. "It is this king." She was startled and exclaimed, "Imperial Uncle." Bai Xiao asked Yi Jioshin in surprise, "Imperial Uncle, why? Why are you here?" He replied to her, "Feng Jinwei sent a letter saying you were attacked. How could this king not come to see you?" She immediately snuggled up to Yi Jioshin and asked, "Imperial Uncle, are you not angry? Even if I were angry to death, I must first protect you completely. Besides, is this king that petty of a person?" She nodded and replied, Yes. Imperial Uncle is magnanimous and can tolerate anything." He told her, "But if anything were to happen to you, I couldn't tolerate even a speck of sand in my eye." She smiled and said, "Imperial Uncle, I have my master protecting me. What could possibly happen? You don't need to worry needlessly." He tapped her on the head. She cried out in pain and said, "Imperial Uncle, why did you suddenly hit me? My head isn't made of iron. That really hurts." He said angrily, "This foolish woman, protecting you was originally the responsibility of me, Yi Jioshin. Since when was it Feng Jinyue's turn?" She was surprised. "Imperial Uncle, you." Yi Jioshin took her hand. "That's why this king is angry at myself. Why wasn't this king the one by your side at that time?" Bai Xiao, "This king is the one who can protect you completely for a lifetime." She blushed and thought to herself, "Isn't this the prelude to a confession?" Yi Jioshin asked her, "Right, how is the investigation into Tao Ruo's matter going?" Bai Xiao felt as if a bucket of cold water had been poured over her, a truly emo feeling. Yi Jioshin asked her, "Bai Xiao, why are you spacing out? This king is asking you a question." She replied dejectedly, "The matter with Tao Ruo, Tao Ruo used the positioning bead you gave her to clear her suspicion." Yi Jioshin said, "According to the monitoring situation of the positioning bead, she indeed did not leave Xinzhou City. But from the meaning in your words, you seem to still suspect her. Imperial Uncle, do you believe my intuition?" He immediately said, "I do." She heard this and thought to herself, "I was prepared to be scolded, but Imperial Uncle actually said, he believes me." Yi Jioshin asked her, "Your intuition tells you that Tao Ruo is the culprit." She nodded. "I always feel that there is something wrong with Tao Ruo. My intuition tells me she is definitely related to this matter. But right now, there isn't enough evidence to prove her guilt." Yi Jioshin said angrily, "Why care about evidence? If you really feel that Tao Ruo is a problem, this king will immediately kill her cleanly. Anyone who threatens your survival, this king will definitely kill without mercy." Hearing this, she broke out in a cold sweat. "About that, Imperial Uncle, she helped you as a physician for several years. After all, for you to kill her just like that is so cold-blooded and ruthless." It's just one tower. What's the big deal? For you, even if I had to annihilate the entire world, I would not hesitate. Hearing this, her face fell. Imperial Uncle, actually, you don't need to do so much for me, annihilating the world for me and all that. Although I am very moved, but I know that in Imperial Uncle's heart, I am not that important at all. Such important words should be saved for when Imperial Uncle meets the woman he truly likes. Yi Jiuxin kissed her and continued, "Bai Xiao Xiao, do you not understand my words?" She coughed, and he immediately said, "This foolish woman, you don't even know how to breathe when being kissed?" It's because Imperial Uncle was too sudden. He said to her, "Then prepare yourself well this time," and leaned down to kiss her. The next day, Bai Xiao Xiao stretched and woke up asking, "Where's Imperial Uncle?" At this moment, there was someone outside. She opened the door and asked, "Imperial Uncle is back." "Imperial Uncle, where did you go so early in the morning?" But immediately, someone covered her mouth. Inside the Imperial Apothecary, Feng Jinhua walked in, and Tao Ruo'er immediately asked, "Senior brother, why have you come?" He immediately said, "Bai Xiao Xiao has disappeared." After hearing Feng Jinhua say that Bai Xiao Xiao was missing, Tao Ruo'er was startled and asked Feng Jinhua again, "Xiao Xiao has disappeared. What is going on? Could she have been taken by someone?" Feng Jinhua shook his head. If someone had broken into her room, this venerable one, being next door, couldn't possibly have not sensed anything. Hearing this, Tao Ruo'er thought to herself, "What on earth is going on? If something really happened to Bai Xiao Xiao, wouldn't I be the first person to be suspected? But I clearly didn't do anything. Why did Bai Xiao Xiao suddenly go missing?" Tao Ruo'er then said to Feng Jinhua, "Senior brother, don't worry too much. Let's go with you to Xiao Xiao's room. Perhaps she left some traces in her room." Feng Jinhua heard that Tao Ruo'er's words made sense. He sighed and said to Tao Ruo'er, "For now, that's all we can do." In Bai Xiao Xiao's study, the two of them went in to investigate. After looking, both Tao Ruo'er and Feng Jinhua said, "There are no traces of anyone having been here." Suddenly, Tao Ruo'er discovered a piece of paper pinned to a pillar with a dagger. Tao Ruo'er turned to Feng Jinhua, "Senior brother, look what's written on this paper." Feng Jinhua pulled the paper down and picked it up to read. Inside the paper was written a notice for Yi Jiuxin, "Your woman is in my hands. If you want to save her life, come alone to meet at the ruined temple outside the city at midnight tomorrow." After reading it, Feng Jinhua was furious. He crumpled the paper and said to Tao Ruo'er, "It's an enemy of Yi Jiuxin." Hearing this, Tao Ruo'er exclaimed, "An enemy of His Highness the Night King. Could it be people from the Crescent Moon cult?" Tao Ruo'er thought to herself, the only ones bold enough to kidnap Bai Xiao Xiao to threaten Yi Jiuxin could only be people from the Crescent Moon Palace. Tao Ruo'er said to Feng Jinhua, "But with senior brother's strength, how could people from the Crescent Moon Palace take Bai Xiao Xiao away without making any sound?" Hearing her ask this, Feng Jinhua replied, "In the Crescent Moon Palace, there are two people who can do this. One is the Green-Winged Bat King. He is extremely good at concealing his aura. The second person is the Black Widow. Her lightness skill is extremely fast. She is also the creator of that human flesh bomb puppet." After hearing this, Tao Ruo'er voiced her thoughts. In that case, the people of the Crescent Moon Palace have long wanted to make a move on Xiao Xiao. "Senior brother, should we immediately inform His Highness the Night King?" Feng Jinhua asked Tao Ruo'er, "Where is the Night King now?" Tao Ruo'er answered him, "The Night King is currently doing his utmost to trace the whereabouts of the Crescent Moon Palace. I'm afraid he definitely won't be able to make it back to Xinzhou City in time." Hearing this, Feng Jinhua frowned. "If that's the case, we can only rely on the two of us to figure out a way to save Bai Xiao out." Later that evening, inside the bedroom, Tao Ruo'er paced back and forth, thinking about Bai Xiao Xiao's disappearance and asking herself, did something really happen to Bai Xiao Xiao? Or is she deliberately putting on a show to lure me into revealing a flaw? If something really happened to her, that's truly good news. If she's trying to trick me, I'll just take matters into my own hands and deal with her. Just then, the Black Widow appeared and walked into Tao Ruo'er's room, my precious disciple. Seeing the Black Widow suddenly appear, Tao Ruo'er was startled and asked, "Master?" The Black Widow asked Tao Ruo'er, "What is it? Does my precious disciple have something to see me about?" Tao Ruo'er then asked the Black Widow, "Master, have you by any chance captured someone recently?" The Black Widow replied, "If you're talking about materials for refining puppets, then I've captured a lot." Tao Ruo'er then said to the Black Widow, "Master, I'm not asking about those materials. I'm asking about a person of great importance to the Crescent Moon Palace." Hearing Tao Ruo'er say this, the Black Widow asked, "Great importance, has something happened?" You're not to hide it from your master. You know how tragic the consequences of hiding things from me are. Tyrant swallowed and asked the Black Widow, did you capture the woman the Night King loves? Hearing Tyrant say this, the Black Widow burst out laughing. Interesting, truly too interesting. I didn't expect the Night King of Nanzhao to have a woman he likes. But why haven't I heard you mention this? Could it be that you were specially hiding it from me for that Night King's sake? Don't tell me you have feelings for the Night King. The Black Widow immediately moved closer to Tyrant. She reached out and easily choked Tyrant, making her unable to breathe. Seeing that the Black Widow intended to kill her, Tyrant immediately explained, no, Master, even if you gave this disciple 10,000 times the courage, this disciple wouldn't dare. I only recently found out that the Night King likes by Xiao Xiao. I heard Feng Jinhue say that the only people who could take by Xiao Xiao away without making a sound were the green-winged Bat King and you. Hearing Tyrant's words, the Black Widow was pleased and released her grip on her neck, saying, I haven't captured any by Xiao Xiao recently. That old Bat King already has a grudge against the Night King. It would make sense for him to kidnap his woman to threaten him. In any case, my precious disciple, I want you to capture by Xiao Xiao and bring her to me. Tyrant immediately replied, yes. The next night, at midnight, Feng Jinhue and Tyrant went to the ruined temple in the outskirts, the location specified on the note left by Xiao Xiao's kidnapper. Feng Jinhue and Tyrant went inside the temple. Tyrant looked left and right, assessing the temple, and then voiced her suspicion. Why is there no one here? Just then, a lamp lit up, startling Tyrant, who asked warily what is going on. From inside a cellar, a mysterious voice spoke. If you want to save by Xiao Xiao, come in alone. Hearing the other party's words, Feng Jinhue turned to Tyrant and said, Junior sister, you stand guard here. This master will go in and see if Xiao Xiao is really inside. Hearing that Feng Jinhue intended to risk going in alone, Tyrant said worriedly, but this is too dangerous. What if it's a trap set by the green-winged Bat King? Feng Jinhue said to Tyrant, Xiao Xiao is my disciple. Even if it's a trap, I must go in. After Feng Jinhue went inside, Tyrant, who stayed behind, angrily gritted her teeth and thought to herself, what kind of love potion did by Xiao Xiao give them, making senior brother and the others risk so much for her? By Xiao Xiao, you'd better just die in here. After the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, Tyrant saw that Feng Jinhue still hadn't come out and grew worried. Why has it been so long and senior brother still hasn't returned? Don't tell me something happened. Just then, Feng Jinhue came out carrying by Xiao Xiao, with bloodstains on his body. Seeing Feng Jinhue had come out, Tyrant called out worriedly, Senior brother. Feng Jinhue handed by Xiao Xiao to Tyrant and instructed, Junior sister, take Xiao Xiao and leave quickly. A person appeared. It was the green-winged Bat King, wearing a mask that completely covered his face. He said with amusement, I didn't expect the prey that came was not Yi Jiuxin, but the legendary Feng Jinhue. No matter who came, you will all die for me. Feng Jinhue turned and said to Tyrant, take by Xiao Xiao and go. This master will hold off the green-winged Bat King. The green-winged Bat King then rushed towards Feng Jinhue. Seeing this, Tyrant shouted worriedly, Senior brother, you must be careful. With that, Tyrant, supported by Xiao Xiao, and headed outside. After leaving that temple, she saw by Xiao Xiao waking up. Tyrant asked her, Xiao Xiao, you're finally awake. Are you all right? Bai Xiao Xiao looked around blankly and asked, what is going on? Where am I? Tyrant answered her, Xiao Xiao, you were kidnapped. It was senior brother who rescued you. Bai Xiao Xiao asked worriedly, where is master now? Tyrant said to her, Senior brother. Just then, the green-winged Bat King appeared, laughing as he said, I thought the legendary divine physician Feng Jinhue was so formidable. Turns out he can't even withstand a single blow. Tyrant was shocked to hear this. How can this be? How could senior brother? Bai Xiao Xiao said angrily, you're lying. How could master? Tyrant said to Bai Xiao Xiao, Xiao Xiao, the situation is critical now. It's a fact that something has happened to senior brother. Even the two of us will. Bai Xiao Xiao turned and said, Tyrant, as long as the two of us team up, we might have a chance of survival. We must hurry and save master. Tyrant smiled and said to her, I'm very sorry. Then Tyrant reached out and grabbed by Xiao Xiao by the throat. Bai Xiao Xiao asked her, what are you doing? Tyrant, even senior brother is no match for the green-winged Bat King, let alone us. Letting me live is the only way. Tyrant turned to ask the green-winged Bat King, I'll hand Bai Xiao Xiao over to you to deal with as you please. How about you spare my life? The green-winged Bat King's face hardened. Are you threatening me? Tao tightened her grip on Bai Xiao Xiao's neck. If you don't agree, I will kill Bai Xiao Xiao right now. If you lose the pawn Bai Xiao Xiao, you won't be able to use anyone to threaten the Night King. She is the key to dealing with the Night King. The green-winged Bat King asked, what kind of deal are you proposing? Tyrant threw a sensing jade to the green-winged Bat King. Take this sensing jade and stay 3 miles away. The green-winged Bat King left, saying, if you go back on your word, death is your only path. Afterwards, Tyrant released Bai Xiao Xiao, causing her to fall to the ground, and asked, why would you do this? Could it be that you? Tyrant replied, Bai Xiao Xiao, since you're about to die anyway, it's fine to tell you. The first time I met you, I already wanted to kill you. I just didn't expect you to have such a tenacious life that you even managed to dodge both Bang Fai Yin and the human flesh bomb created by the puppet master. Bai Xiao Xiao shouted angrily, you are a demon. Why on earth? Why do you keep trying to harm me time and again? I clearly have no grudge or enmity with you. She said, Bai Xiao Xiao, you are the demon, you damned vixen. What kind of dark magic did you use to bewitch the Night King until he's head over heels? A talentless, plain-looking wench like you. What right do you have? Bai Xiao Xiao was surprised you? You really do like Royal Uncle? You did this because of Royal Uncle? Tyrant laughed. That's right. I like His Highness the Night King. The first time I saw him, I knew that he was the only man in this life for me. But I also know the Night King's status is noble. For all these years, to become a woman worthy of him, I have diligently studied medical arts, even taking the Black Widow as my master. I don't regret anything I've done, but after you appeared, everything changed. She grabbed Bai Xiao Xiao's collar. You're no match for me in any way. What right do you have to receive the love of His Highness the Night King? Therefore, even if I can't kill you myself, I must destroy your face. With that, she took out a dagger. I want to make the Night King see your ugliest appearance. Just then, a stone shot into her hand, forcing her to drop the dagger. She turned around and asked who it was. Seeing the green-winged Bat King, she asked, Green-winged Bat King, didn't I tell you to stay 3 miles away? The green-winged Bat King took off his hood, revealing Yi Jioshin's face. He said, you have truly made this king see you in a new light. She asked in shock, Your Highness the Night King. Seeing Yi Jioshin, Tyrant cried out, Your Highness the Night King, this can't be. Isn't His Highness the Night King tracking the whereabouts of the Moon Evil Hall? How can he be here? Feng Jinwei also approached at this time and said angrily, Why can't it be? Junior sister, this was a trap set for you from the very beginning. Seeing Feng Jinwei, Tyrant was startled and called out, Senior brother. She stood up and asked, Could it be that everything was an act you and Xiao Xiao put on? Bai Xiao Xiao clutched her neck and said, What else? Luckily, you were foolish enough to spill everything. Hearing this, Tyrant angrily turned her head and cursed, I want you dead. She intended to reach out and grab Bai Xiao Xiao's neck, but Yi Jioshin immediately stepped forward and kicked her down. You wench, do you think you still have a chance to harm Xiao Xiao? Daring to touch Xiao Xiao, this king thinks you no longer wish to live. Bai Xiao Xiao pulled on Yi Jioshin's hand. Royal Uncle, calm down. Keeping her alive is still useful. She thought to herself, it just so happens that Royal Uncle is at a dead end with the Moon Evil Hall matter. Now, there's a source of intelligence. Tyrant hugged Yi Jioshin's leg. Your Highness the Night King, I know I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. I only did it because I like you too much. Your Highness the Night King, please don't hate me. Feng Jinwei frowned and asked, Junior sister, has it come to this and you still don't understand? The person you should be apologizing to is not the Night King, but Miss Bai. Bai Xiao Xiao then said, I don't need her apology. However, if you truly like Royal Uncle, then tell us the location of your evil moon cult. Ensuring Royal Uncle's safety was your old wish as well. Tyrant shouted angrily, Royal Uncle, calling him so intimately. You damned enchantress. It's all because of you that everything of mine is ruined. She intended to reach out and grab Bai Xiao Xiao. When 2 needles shot out, pulling threads that wrapped tightly around her. She said in shock, "This is the Thousand Hands wind kill. It took me several years to master this secret technique, yet you've learned it just after starting." Bai Xiao smiled and said, "I am much more talented than you." Yi Jioshin sensed something and spoke up, "Be careful, someone is coming." A group of people in black robes rushed in. Bai Xiao said in alarm, "It's the Black Widow's puppets, exactly like the one that attacked me that day." Seeing this, Tao was secretly delighted and thought, "Master is here." Yi Jioshin pulled Bai Xiao to one side. "The Black Widow is not easy to deal with. Bai Xiao, you stand behind this king." The puppets rushed forward at this moment. Yi Jioshin immediately kicked at them. A puppet swung its sword towards Bai Xiao. She immediately dodged. Feng Jinwei also launched a palm strike towards the puppet. Bai Xiao noticed it was emitting corpse chi again and shouted, "This is bad. It's a bomb puppet, an exploding bomb." Yi Jioshin hugged her and asked worriedly, Xiao, are you all right?" Bai Xiao replied to him, "I'm fine. Are you hurt?" "Don't worry. As long as I'm prepared, that thing can't hurt me." I never thought the Black Widow also had someone she cared about. At this moment, the Black Widow appeared. Tao said joyfully, "Master." The Black Widow angrily slapped her and scolded, "Useless thing, get up already." The needles fell, and Tao thought to herself, "I can move again." She stood up and said with a smile, "Bai Xiao, for all the sins I've had to endure today, I will definitely repay you tenfold. There will come a day when I will make His Highness the Night King see you for who you really are." Just then, the Black Widow's hand pierced through her chest. In disbelief, she trembled and asked, "Master." Tao clutched her chest and cried out, "Master, why?" The Black Widow was furious. "Keeping trash like you around will only expose the secrets of the Evil Moon Palace. Since you've lost your value, you don't need to live anymore." As she finished speaking, Dao Ruo air fell to the ground. Yi Jioshin said to her angrily, "Black Widow, I've been looking for people from the Evil Moon Palace. I didn't expect you to come to my doorstep yourself." The Black Widow laughed. "Want to catch me? You're still too inexperienced, Divine Dr. Yuan. And you, Bai Xiao, you are all such an interesting group. I look forward to our next meeting." With that, she left with her puppets. Feng Jinyu then said, "We let that woman off too easily. It's a pity we couldn't get more intelligence about the Evil Moon cult from her. Things have come to this. I should make a trip back to Peerless Valley to report my junior sister's actions and death to the elders." Xiao, you'll come back with me." Bai Xiao was surprised. "I have to go back to Peerless Valley too." Hearing this, Yi Jioshin became angry. Feng Jinyu explained, "You are my disciple now. You should go and pay respects to the masters and elders." Bai Xiao thought to herself, "Wait, doesn't this mean I'll have to act all lovey-dovey with Master there? Royal Uncle definitely won't let me." Yi Jioshin spoke up, "I will go to Peerless Valley with you." After hearing this, she asked, startled, "Royal Uncle wants to go too?" Feng Jinyu was also startled and asked, "You want to go too?" Yi Jioshin said nonchalantly, "What? It's not like I've never been to Peerless Valley before. I happen to want to find a few of the old-timers in Peerless Valley to have a chat." Jinyu smiled and said, "If that's the case, then let's go together." Inside Peerless Valley, Celestial Master Tianyin spoke. Although it is regrettable if Ruo Air's wrongdoings led to this outcome, then it was her fate. As for this grand disciple Xiao, I am very satisfied. If there is nothing else, Jinyu, Xiao, you two may leave with the other elders. I wish to speak with you, Wang." Half an hour later, Bai Xiao sat down looking at the lake. That royal uncle, as soon as he arrived, he went to talk to Celestial Master Tianyin. Yi Jioshin came out and called Xiao. She stood up happily. "Royal Uncle, you're out of the main hall so quickly. What did you ask Celestial Master Tianyin about?" Yi Jioshin recalled Celestial Master Tianyin's question. "Yuang, are you here this time because of the Emperor Dragon pattern on your body?" He replied to him, "You once said that this Emperor Dragon pattern has a very heavy, killing aura. Not only did it cause my mother's death, but it also prevents me from getting close to any woman, because no woman can withstand my vital essence. But what if I met a woman who could withstand me?" Celestial Master Tianyin said, "In this world, the only one who can resist the killing aura of the Emperor Dragon pattern is someone with a phoenix birthmark. If your highness has truly met such a person, you must remember to cherish her." Yi Jiushun thought to himself, could it be that Bai Xiao Xiao has a phoenix birthmark? But that time with Bai Xiao Xiao and the ice coffin in the tomb, it was too dark. My body was affected by the heat poison, and my mind was unclear. How can I remember whether she has a phoenix birthmark or not? Yi Jiushun was extremely troubled. Seeing this, Bai Xiao Xiao asked, Royal Uncle, what's wrong? Yi Jiushun hesitated, then asked, do you have a congenital birthmark? She was secretly happy and thought, a birthmark? Why is Royal Uncle asking about this? Could it be that Royal Uncle is interested in my body? She smiled and asked, you mean the phoenix birthmark? He immediately asked her, don't tell me you have one. She said, huh? I don't have one. Royal Uncle, why are you asking about this? What exactly happened? He asked suspiciously, if you don't have one, how do you know about the phoenix birthmark? He thought to himself, besides, if she doesn't have a phoenix birthmark, how could she withstand my vital essence? She replied this, how should I put it? She thought to herself, right now, I really don't have a phoenix birthmark on this body, but my body before I transmigrated did. But I can't tell him that I transmigrated from the future. Yi Jiushun asked her, Bai Xiao Xiao, does your body have a phoenix birthmark or not? If you're toying with me, I will force a kiss on you. She blushed and thought to herself, is Royal Uncle addicted to this kind of punishment? She replied, all right, I can tell you, Royal Uncle, but you must promise first not to tell anyone else what I'm about to say. She thought to herself, I'm only telling Royal Uncle. It probably won't cause any time-space chaos. He decisively said, I swear, if I reveal even half a word, may I not die a peaceful death. She said to him, Royal Uncle, actually I'm not the real Bai Xiao Xiao at all. This body doesn't belong to me either. My soul transmigrated here from the future. Before I transmigrated, I did have a phoenix birthmark. He immediately asked, you're a soul who borrowed a corpse to be resurrected? Bai Xiao Xiao said to Yi Jiushun, borrowing a corpse to be resurrected. That's one way to put it. To put it simply, this is not my body. My soul comes from several thousand years in the future. I know that saying this, Royal Uncle will definitely find it strange. I can understand if you don't believe me. Yi Jiushun said, I believe you. Didn't I say it before? No matter what you say, I won't have the slightest doubt. She exclaimed in surprise, Royal Uncle. Yi Jiushun said, besides, I've investigated before. That weak, fat, and rustic piece of trash by Xiao Xiao was completely different from you. Now that you've said this, I can understand. After hearing this, she thought to herself, fat and rustic. Why hasn't Royal Uncle forgotten how I was back then? Bai Xiao Xiao said, Royal Uncle, what I just told you must not be told to anyone else. After all, the matter of borrowing a corpse for resurrection is not something others should know. He smiled and said, but the fact that you didn't tell this to anyone else also means that I am the man you trust the most. She replied, Royal Uncle, the joy at the corners of your mouth is too obvious. Yi Jiushun asked her, but you said your soul came from several thousand years in the future. Doesn't that mean one day your soul will return there? She then asked, Royal Uncle, you can't bear for me to leave? If I say yes, will you leave me? Bai Xiao Xiao, promise me that you will stay here for me, that you won't return to that 1,000 years in the future. She then asked, Royal Uncle, are you like this because you like me? Yi Jiushun asked her, Bai Xiao Xiao, are you an idiot? If it wasn't because I like you, why would I care whether you stay or go? If you dare to refuse me, I will definitely make you pay. Xiao Xiao was stunned, then threw herself into Yi Jiushun's arms. Royal Uncle, I like you too. I want to stay here and be with you for the rest of my life. He lifted her face and asked, is what you said true? Say it again. She repeated, Royal Uncle, I like you, I like you. I will always be by your side. He immediately leaned down and kissed her. Good. We will always be together. Then it started to rain. Yi Jiushun asked angrily, damn it. The atmosphere was so nice just now. Why did it suddenly start to rain? Bai Xiao Xiao took Yi Jiushun's hand and led him away. Royal Uncle, the rain is getting heavier. It's dangerous to hide under a tree. Master said there's a cave in the back mountains. Let's go there first. The two of them enter the cave. Yi Jiushun draped his cloak over her. Don't catch a cold. Bai Xiao Xiao said, Royal Uncle, it seems like there's something in this cave. Let's go take a look. He asked in surprise, why are you so curious? Aren't you afraid of danger? She replied to him, maybe it's because I was born in the year of the cat. Let's go, let's go. We have nothing to do right now anyway. She then pulled him deeper inside. Seeing a door, she thought to herself, there's actually a door in this cave. Wait, the pattern on the door looks a bit familiar. That's right, it's the pattern on Feng Yiran. Why would a pattern identical to the one on his body appear on a door in a cave in the back mountains of Peerless Valley? Just then, an eagle flew over. Yi Jioshan attacked it. Be careful. This flock of eagles is being controlled by someone. It looks like they're protecting this door, not letting anyone get close. She then asked, could it be that something is hidden behind this door? Yi Jioshan looked at the flock of eagles flying towards them, that it's unclear, but we can't get out for the time being. Bai Xiao stepped back behind him and asked, then what should we do? Since we can't get out, why don't we go inside and take a look? We can see just what Peerless Valley is hiding. After all, he pushed the door open and stepped inside. Bai Xiao covered her nose and thought, oh no, this smoke. She cried out, Royal Uncle. She stepped inside and thought, what's going on? Wasn't I just in the cave? At this moment, a skeleton emerged and reached its hand towards her. Seeing this, she was startled. Bai Xiao was pulled into the water by the skeleton. She let out a cry. What on earth is this? It wants to kill me. I don't want to die. At this moment, the token that Feng Yiran had given her began to glow. Elsewhere, Feng Yiran saw his token light up and said, the token is lit. Bai Xiao has entered the forbidden grounds of Peerless Valley. He thought to himself, she's about to discover my secret this quickly. Then someone called her, Xiao, wake up quickly. Bai Xiao opened her eyes and saw Yi Jioshan's face, Royal Uncle. Seeing him leaning towards her, she immediately lifted her head and kissed him on the lips. Yi Jioshan blushed and said, why did you suddenly kiss me? She then asked, didn't Royal Uncle want to kiss me? He replied, I was going to give you mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Bai Xiao was startled and asked, mouth-to-mouth? That's right. What exactly happened just now? He began to explain, just now, we were both pulled into an illusion by the power of the enchanted smoke. Luckily, the token on you emitted a glow and saved us. She took out the token and asked, the token on me? This one. He frowned and said, this type of token that can dispel illusions. I've heard of it before. It said that these tokens come in pairs and can only affect the illusions of a specific location. Where did you get this token? She broke into a sweat and replied, a friend gave it to me to thank me for treating his injuries. He asked angrily, male or female friend? How old? What did you meet? Where? How long have you known each other? Is he as handsome as me? Where is he from? What's his name? She answered blankly, it's Feng Yiran. Didn't Royal Uncle already meet him during the Lantern Festival before? Yi Jioshan said angrily, from now on, you should have less contact with Feng Yiran. Then he turned around. She turned to ask him, Royal Uncle, are you jealous? He said angrily, I'm not jealous. I'm just worried those guys will harm you. She smiled brightly. Royal Uncle, you can't be like this just because Feng Yiran is handsome. He immediately said, didn't I remind you before? That guy is the infamous Poison Lord. After hearing this, she was startled and asked, he's the Poison Lord? She thought to herself, oh crap, I thought he was some kind of gangster, but it turns out he's even more formidable. She shouted angrily, Royal Uncle, why didn't you tell me this kind of thing sooner? He said angrily, I usually don't pay any mind to people like him. She asked in surprise, the token the Poison Lord gave me, why was it able to dispel the illusion in the mountain cave? Could it be that Feng Yiran has some connection to Peerless Valley? He replied, I guess the answer we're looking for might be behind this door. Then, Yi Jioshan pushed the door open. Bai Xiao looked inside, startled, and asked, why is there a coffin hidden in the back mountain of Peerless Valley? There isn't some kind of chaste female zombie in the coffin, is there? Yi Jioshan told her, with me here, there's no need to worry. We must open the coffin to find out the truth. Yi Jioshan then pushed the coffin lid open and looked inside. Seeing something fly out, he asked, what is this thing? A monster rushed out from inside. Bai Xiao immediately used the 1,000-hand sealing kill to bind it. However, the monster's strength was too great and it broke all the threads. Bai Xiao exclaimed, what? The monster rushed toward her, saying kill, kill, kill. Yi Jioshan called out in alarm, Xiao. The monster charged at Bai Xiao, kill. Then it grabbed Bai Xiao by the neck. Yi Jioshan immediately used his spiritual power to attack it, causing it to spit out a mouthful of blood and fall down. He ran to her side and asked, Xiao, are you all right? I'm fine. Royal Uncle, let's hurry and see what this monster was protecting in the coffin. The two of them looked inside, saw the white skeleton, and said, what is this white thing? This person is so strange to be holding a piece of white cloth before death. She picked up the cloth. Yi Jioshan said, let me see. He thought to himself, could this thing be Yi Jochin smiled and said, "If I'm not mistaken, you can try waving it around." She waved the cloth. "What's so great about this thing?" The cloth shot towards the wall, causing it to crumble. She exclaimed, "This is such a miraculous weapon. It's astonishing." He then asked, "This weapon seems to suit you well. Why don't you take it?" She waved her hands and said, No. I also came out of a coffin in Peerless Valley. What if this person was some formidable figure? If I just take it, I'd be betraying my sect. It's better to take it back and give it to Celestial Master Tianyin for safekeeping." He replied, "That works too. It's a good chance to test my guess, eh?" In the main hall of Peerless Valley, Celestial Master Tianyin asked King Yi, "Xiao, what brings you two here?" Yi Jochin spoke up, "Just now, Xiao, and I happened to pass by the mountain cave in the back mountains of Peerless Valley." Upon hearing this, Celestial Master Tianyin was startled and asked, "What?" Yi Jochin asked, "Based on what I saw in the cave, I guess that the infamous poison lord of the martial world, Feng Yiran, is also a disciple of Peerless Valley." Celestial Master Tianyin said, "You are indeed very intelligent, King Yi. Yiran was indeed a disciple of Peerless Valley, and he was also Jinyue's senior brother." After hearing this, she was petrified and exclaimed, "No way. Feng Yiran is my grandmaster?" Yi Jochin asked, "Then why did he give up medicine to become the poison lord?" Celestial Master Tianyin explained, "When Yiran was in Peerless Valley, he and Jinyue were like brothers. That year, Jinyue went through a near-death experience. To prevent Jinyue's death, Yiran killed an innocent fetus, using the death of the ghost fetus to replace the death of Jinyue. After committing such a cruel act of killing, Yiran could no longer practice medicine, so he left Peerless Valley. As for what happened later, and why he became the Poison Lord, I do not know." After hearing this, Bai Xiao thought to herself, "I can't believe Feng Yiran did all this for Master." Celestial Master Tianyin said, "Yiran's story is regrettable, but it is the price he must pay for the sin he committed. For you to have mistakenly entered the back mountain and come out safely, it must be the will of heaven." Bai Xiao held up the white cloth and said, "Speaking of which, we found this in the coffin in the back mountain. We invite Celestial Master to take a look." After looking at it, Celestial Master Tianyin was startled. This is seeing the cloth Bai Xiao brought. Celestial Master Tianyin smiled and said, "I didn't expect Xiao to have such a fortuitous encounter. If I remember correctly, this should be the legendary divine chaos heavenly silk." When Bai Xiao heard Celestial Master Tianyin mention the divine chaos heavenly silk, she asked, "What is that?" Celestial Master Tianyin explained, "The divine chaos heavenly silk is a weapon of the first Valley Master, Han Fei. It is rumored to be made from the world's toughest snow silk. Not only is it extremely powerful, but it can also change its shape at will." Yi Jochin also didn't know about this magical weapon. After hearing the explanation, he understood, so that's why you were able to use it to easily break the rock wall. Hearing Yi Jochin say this, Celestial Master Tianyin was startled and asked, "What did you say?" "My grand disciple can actually use the divine chaos heavenly silk?" Bai Xiao also understood the use of the divine chaos heavenly silk. Then she became puzzled and asked, "I didn't expect it to be so powerful. If this is the divine chaos heavenly silk of the first Valley Master, then why was it hidden in a coffin? Furthermore, why did Feng Yiran set up an illusion and a monster to protect that coffin?" After hearing Bai Xiao's questions, Celestial Master Tianyin explained, "Because the skeleton in that coffin is Han Fei, and Yiran is Han Fei's grandson." After hearing this, Bai Xiao couldn't believe it. She exclaimed in shock, "What?" Celestial Master Tianyin recounted the old story to Bai Xiao. In the past, Valley Master Han Fei was a formidable presence in the martial world. Countless people admired him, but there were also those who wanted to assassinate him. To prevent Yiran from being implicated, Valley Master Han Fei told him to change his surname to Feng and become my disciple. That is why Feng Yiran has a father with the surname Han, but he himself bears the surname Feng. After hearing Celestial Master Tianyin's explanation, Bai Xiao understood how precious the divine chaos heavenly silk was. She immediately handed the divine chaos heavenly silk to Celestial Master Tianyin. "If this was left by the former Valley Master, then it should be given to you, Grand Master." Celestial Master Tianyin replied, "Thank you. However, As soon as Celestial Master Tianyin took the divine chaos heavenly silk, it seemed to have a spirit of its own and escaped from his hand. It immediately flew up and wrapped itself around the neck of Bai Xiao. Then, it even acted pitifully by rubbing against Bai Xiao's face. Seeing this, Bai Xiao asked in confusion, what is happening? Celestial Master Tianyin, seeing this for the first time, was also startled. He thought for a moment, and then said, could this be a spiritual weapon acknowledging its master? Bai Xiao asked in confusion, Grandmaster, what is a spiritual weapon acknowledging its master? Celestial Master Tianyin explained to her, the weapons of peerless masters, after years of tempering, gain a spirit. They will automatically choose a master suitable for them. This divine chaos, heavenly silk, is clinging to your body and won't let go. I'm afraid it has already acknowledged Xiao as its master. After hearing Celestial Master Tianyin's explanation, Bai Xiao was stunned and waved her hands. Acknowledge me? No, this can't be. This divine chaos heavenly silk is the powerful weapon of the First Valley Master. How am I qualified to be acknowledged by it? Then, Bai Xiao immediately used her strength to pull the divine chaos heavenly silk off her neck. She then handed it to Celestial Master Tianyin. Grandmaster, you should still take it. There must be someone more suitable than me. Seeing this, Celestial Master Tianyin said, you don't need to belittle yourself. The fact that this spiritual weapon has acknowledged you as its master shows that you must have some extraordinary qualities. Moreover, a spiritual weapon's decision cannot be changed by external forces. Right now, besides you, I'm afraid no one else can use it. You are its master now. After leaving Celestial Master Tianyin's place, Bai Xiao pulled Yi Jiuchen along to find Feng Jinwei. Yi Jiuchen, Bai Xiao, and Feng Jinwei ran into each other in the corridor. As soon as Bai Xiao saw her master, she spoke up. Master, just now. Feng Jinwei asked her, Xiao, I was looking for you. Can we talk over here for a moment? Seeing Feng Jinwei about to pull Bai Xiao away, Yi Jiuchen's face darkened with anger and asked, is there something you can't say in front of me? Bai Xiao agreed. Speaking up, Royal Uncle is not an outsider. Master, please go ahead. Feng Jinwei then stated his purpose for finding her. Xiao, when I took you as my disciple, we already agreed. You have to help me act out a lover's play in front of my master to make him believe that between you and me. Hearing this, Yi Jiuchen became furious. Absolutely not. Seeing Yi Jiuchen interfere in his and Bai Xiao's business, Feng Jinwei said, King Yi, this is a matter between me and Xiao. It's not your place to meddle. Yi Jiuchen angrily asked Feng Jinwei, why is it not my place? Let me tell you, Feng Jinwei, Bai Xiao is the woman of me, Yi Jiuchen, the King Yi of the Southern Dynasty, and she is also this king's future princess consort. You want to use her to act in a play? Not a chance. Bai Xiao, being held in Yi Jiuchen's arms, heard those words and blushed, thinking, Royal Uncle, where did this sudden act come from? Why did you suddenly say these things to my master? I wasn't mentally prepared at all. Hearing what Yi Jiuchen said, Feng Jinwei turned to ask Bai Xiao, Disciple, is this true? Are you and King Yi together? Bai Xiao nodded and replied, well, Master, Royal Uncle and I are indeed together. Our feelings are mutual. In short, I hope for Master's blessing. Hearing this, Feng Jinwei frowned with worry and advised Bai Xiao, how long have you known each other and you're already together? Don't you think it's too ridiculous? Furthermore, King Yi, with your status and position, if Xiao becomes your princess consort, it will bring her a lot of danger. Hearing Feng Jinwei say this, Yi Jiuchen became angry. You don't need to worry about that. This king will protect Xiao well, even if it costs me my life. Xiao, Feng Jinwei said angrily, even if you say that, I will not allow Xiao to marry you. Among you royals, taking wives and concubines, are there few instances of faithlessness and betrayal? I do not want my disciple to jump into this pit of fire. Yi Jiuchen, seeing Feng Jinwei constantly interfering in the matter between him and Bai Xiao, became angry. I have no intention of seeking your opinion, Feng Jinwei, and I certainly don't need to listen to your orders. If you insist on stopping us, I will take Xiao away right now. Hearing Yi Jiuchen threaten him like this, Feng Jinwei was provoked and shouted, You dare! Yi Jiuchen, You dare to stand before me and want to put Xiao Xiao in a dangerous position? I will definitely not agree. Yi Jiushin angrily warned, Feng Jingyue, recognize your own status. Although you are Xiao Xiao's master, the matter between me and Xiao Xiao is not for you to interfere in. By Xiao Xiao, who had been listening to Feng Jingyue and Yi Jiushin argue about her this whole time, had been holding back for a long while. At this moment, her anger erupted and she shouted at the two men, "That's enough. Do you two want others to criticize me, by Xiao Xiao, as a femme fatale? If you keep arguing, get out of my sight." Yi Jiushin and Feng Jingyue were startled by her words and obediently made a gesture as if zipping their lips, not daring to argue another word. Then Bai Xiao Xiao explained, "Master, I have already chosen the imperial uncle. I am no longer a child and will take responsibility for my own choices, so I hope you can understand." Feng Jingyue was still worried. "Xiao Xiao, Prince, he has such great power and influence. Do you really believe he will remain devoted to you?" Yi Jiushin immediately spoke up to answer, "Of course. I have promised to love only Xiao Xiao in this life." Feng Jingyue, don't think that just because you are Xiao Xiao's master, you can. Seeing that Yi Jiushin was about to continue arguing with Feng Jingyue, Bai Xiao Xiao frowned and said, "Imperial uncle, you should also say a few words less. If you are now by Xiao Xiao's man, then while respecting me, you must also respect my master. Besides, about the play acting with master, we already agreed on it when I first became his disciple. I don't want to break the agreement. Moreover, after the act is over, we will leave Peerless Valley, so it won't." Before Bai Xiao Xiao could finish, Yi Jiushin exclaimed, "No, absolutely not. I will never allow you and Feng Jingyue to act out some romantic play." Seeing Yi Jiushin being so unreasonable, Bai Xiao Xiao angrily asked him, "Imperial uncle, why are you so domineering?" Yi Jiushin immediately grabbed Bai Xiao Xiao's hand. "I am just this domineering, and I will be domineering with you for a lifetime. From now on, you belong only to me. Even if it's just an act, I will not allow you to have any involvement with anyone else." Just as a dispute was breaking out among Bai Xiao Xiao, Yi Jiushin, and Feng Jingyue, Celestial Master Tianyin appeared. He coughed, and Feng Jingyue turned his head. Seeing Celestial Master Tianyin appear, he trembled in fear and called out, "Master!" Bai Xiao Xiao, seeing Celestial Master Tianyin appear, also called out, "Grandmaster." Feng Jingyue worriedly asked Celestial Master Tianyin, "Did you hear everything just now?" Celestial Master Tianyin replied to Feng Jingyue, "Although I am old, my ears are not deaf and my eyes are not dim. When Prince Yi and Bai Xiao Xiao first arrived at Peerless Valley, I already saw their relationship. Did you young people really think I wouldn't notice you exchanging flirtatious glances? Jingyue, you actually wanted to use this method to deceive your master. I told you to organize the disciple recruitment assembly not because I wanted you to marry immediately, but because I hoped you could find someone you are of one mind with." Hearing Celestial Master Tianyin's admonishment, Feng Jingyue immediately knelt down, bowed, and admitted his fault to him. "Your disciple knows he was wrong. It was your disciple who misunderstood." Celestial Master Tianyin stepped forward to help Feng Jingyue up and then explained, "Since you were young, you have always been engrossed in the medical arts. But for a healer, it's not just medical skills that are important. It's also important to understand human nature. Understanding medical arts can heal a person's body, but understanding human nature can heal a person's heart." After hearing Celestial Master Tianyin's teachings, Feng Jingyue bowed. "Thank you for your teachings, Master. Your disciple understands." Celestial Master Tianyin shook his head. "If you truly understood, you would pay attention to the person beside you." Hearing Celestial Master Tianyin mention the person beside him, Bai Xiao Xiao looked left and right and thought to herself, "What does the person beside him mean? Is there someone beside Master worth paying attention to?" Afterwards, Bai Xiao Xiao left the others to return. In the hallway, Bai Xiao Xiao stretched and said, "After a torturous day, I can finally go home and rest." Just then, from behind her, a girl appeared and spoke. "Excuse me, you're the sister Xiao Xiao who came to Peerless Valley a few days ago, right?" Bai Xiao Xiao turned to see who was talking to her. As soon as she saw the girl's face, Bai Xiao Xiao was startled and asked, "Tao, how is this possible? Weren't you?" Looking at the person's face, Bai Xiao Xiao mistook her for Tao Roer and thought to herself, "Tao Roer has come back from the dead." The girl, seeing that Bai Xiao Xiao thought she was Tao Roer, immediately waved her hands to explain, "Don't misunderstand. I'm not Sister Roer. I am Hua Yinyin from Bodhi Mountain, here to study medicine. I just happen to look like her. That's all." Bai Xiaoxiao looked at Hua Yunyun's face again and thought to herself. Looking closely, she and Tao really aren't identical, but Hua Yunyun suddenly moved closer to Bai Xiaoxiao, reached out, and took her hand as if they were old acquaintances. I heard others say that Xiaoxiao won the disciple recruitment assembly and became the divine doctor's disciple. It's truly admirable, Bai Xiaoxiao said shyly. Thank you. Then Hua Yunyun let go of Bai Xiaoxiao's hand, waved, and said, I'd really like to chat longer with Sister Xiaoxiao, but it's getting late, so I'll head back first. Let's talk another day. Bai Xiaoxiao replied, okay. She thought to herself, Hua Yunyun is truly a strange person. Inside a bedroom, Hua Yunyun walked over to Yu Wuhan. Yu Wuhan sat up at the start and called out Mas. Then she said, Hua Yunyun, what are you doing here? Now that you know my master, Tao is dead, did you come here to mock me? Hua Yunyun said, Sister Wuhan, how could you misunderstand my good intentions? I came especially to comfort you. Yu Wuhan said angrily, get out. People like you, who use a face similar to my master's as an excuse to enter Peerless Valley out of pity, are the kind my master despised the most. Hua Yunyun asked, it's fine if I leave, but don't you want to know the real reason for Sister Roar's death? Yu Wuhan asked, what do you mean? My master was killed by the Black Widow of Crescent Moon Hall. This is something everyone knows. Hua Yunyun replied, that's just the story from Feng Jinwei, Yi Jiuxian, and Bai Xiaoxiao. It's one thing for others to be deceived by them, but how could you be deceived by them too? I sent people to investigate. The one who caused Sister Ruar's death wasn't Crescent Moon Hall, but Bai Xiaoxiao. Yu Wuhan asked, startled, Bai Xiaoxiao killed my master? How is that possible? Hua Yunyun asked, why not? Bai Xiaoxiao stole the man Sister Ruar liked. Only she would have a motive to kill Sister Ruar. Yu Wuhan asked suspiciously, even if what you're saying is true, so what? Bai Xiaoxiao is Feng Jinue's disciple and has the protection of Prince Yi. There's no way I can avenge my master. Hua Yunyun moved closer to Yu Wuhan. You may not be able to do it alone, but I can help you. Yu Wuhan was surprised by her words. Why would you be so kind? Hua Yunyun answered, because I once hated Bai Xiaoxiao just as much. To tell you the truth, the reason I came to Peerless Valley to study was to pursue Feng Jinwei, to become his disciple. I put in so much effort, yet he wouldn't even give me a second glance. But Bai Xiaoxiao achieved that goal so easily. How is that bitch Bai Xiaoxiao better than me in any way? Only if she dies can I get what I want, and you can also avenge your master. So what do you say? Want to cooperate with me? Yu Wuhan agreed. Tell me your plan first. In her room, Bai Xiaoxiao was happily singing Draw a Dragon with Me on the left and a rainbow on the right. Just then, someone opened the door. Bai Xiaoxiao said, Imperial Uncle, you're here. Perfect timing. I just went to the kitchen and made mung bean cakes. Come and try my handiwork. Yi Jiuxian walked in and said, Xiao, I have to leave Peerless Valley. She asked, startled what? He continued, a branch of the Crescent Moon cult that I was tracking a few days ago has lost contact. According to the spy's report, traces of the Crescent Moon cult were found where they lost contact. I want to go personally for a trip, so Bai Xiaoxiao smiled and said, Imperial Uncle has become much gentler than before. If this were in the past, you probably would have just dragged me along without saying anything. Yi Jiuxian's face grew serious. This time is different. This trip is extremely dangerous. I can't guarantee I can protect you. Staying in Peerless Valley is the safest option. Bai Xiaoxiao replied worriedly, but I'm worried about you, Imperial Uncle. I want to go with you. Xiao, you are a talented person. You must continue to stay in Peerless Valley and cultivate. This is the only way you can become stronger. I promise you, I will definitely return safely to get you. With that, he kissed her on the forehead. Bai Xiaoxiao sat sadly under a tree. The Imperial Uncle really left me behind. If I were strong enough, would he not have to worry about me? I'm really too weak. Just then, Hua Yunyun appeared and called out, Sister Xiao, why the long face? Did something happen? If there's anything I can help with, just ask me. She immediately asked, do you know of any way to get strong quickly? Hua Yunyun replied, get strong? Take miraculous pills and elixirs, cultivate unorthodox techniques, or fall into the demonic path. But these methods will harm the body. Oh, right. Sister Xiao, do you know about the Taotai secret chamber? It's rumored that anyone who enters the Taotai secret chamber to cultivate will be completely transformed, their power increasing manifold. Your master, Feng Jinwei, also cultivated in there once. After hearing this, Bai Xiaoxiao pondered, the Tao Dai's secret chamber. Hua Yunyan smiled as she watched her. Then Bai Xiao ran off to find Feng Jinhue and Celestial Master Tianyin. Grandmaster, Master. Celestial Master Tianyin asked her, Xiao, you've suddenly burst in. Is something the matter? In such a hurry? Bai Xiao immediately said, Grandmaster, please open the Tao Dai secret chamber for your grand disciple to enter and cultivate. The Celestial Master Tianyin was startled. What? The Tao Dai secret chamber was opened by Valley Master Han Fei. It's even called the Immortal's Hell. It is located at the Dragon Vein of Peerless Valley, the most alluring place in Peerless Valley, and also the most dangerous. My grand disciple, do you know that although the spiritual energy there is abundant and suitable for cultivation, those who enter can very easily suffer from chi deviation and bury themselves? In history, 10 people have entered the Tao Dai secret chamber, but in the end, only 3 came out alive. Your master, Feng Jinhue. Aside from those 3, all the others suffered from chi deviation and committed suicide inside the Tao Dai secret chamber. My grand disciple, do you now know how terrifying the Tao Dai secret chamber is? Even so, you still intend to challenge it. She replied resolutely, I have already decided. Grandmaster. Then she knelt and kowtowed that I must enter the Tao Dai secret chamber to cultivate. I hope Grandmaster will grant my wish. Feng Jinhue retorted, I do not agree. Feng Jinhue said, this master does not agree to let you enter the Tao Dai secret chamber to cultivate. Bai Xiao asked in surprise why. Feng Jinhue answered her, Xiao, your talent is indeed extremely high, but entering the Tao Dai secret chamber is too risky. It's very likely that, as your master, I will not allow you to gamble with your life. Bai Xiao frowned and said, Master, I know you are worried about me, but I hope even more that you will believe in me. The Tao Dai secret chamber is not a test of spiritual power at all, but of mental strength. This is my stubbornness. I will come out alive. Feng Jinhue asked angrily, why must you insist on taking such a risk? She said agitatedly, because I don't want to make others worry about me. Only by becoming stronger can I help. Feng Jinhue asked her, help the Beast King, right? What is it about that man that is worth you risking your life? She said in a serious tone, Master, if one day you also have someone you love, you will know that risking your life for a loved one is a kind of happiness. Feng Jinhue turned his head in anger. Xiao, you are truly a fool. Fine, this master will not stop you, but you will bear all the consequences yourself. With that, he flicked his sleeves and left. Bai Xiao smiled. Thank you, master. The Celestial Master Tianyin told her, Xiao, before entering the secret chamber to cultivate, you must first go to Crescent Moon Lake for a purification ritual. She asked in surprise. Crescent Moon Lake? At Crescent Moon Lake, the Celestial Master Tianyin explained, Crescent Moon Lake is the sacred lake of Peerless Valley. The lake's water has the effect of purifying the body and mind. Only those who undergo the purification ritual at Crescent Moon Lake and thoroughly wash away the impurities on their bodies can pass the Taoye selection and enter the secret chamber to cultivate. Otherwise, they will be devoured by the Tao Tai. Bai Xiao walked into the lake and said, so that's the barrier. She thought to herself, just as Master said, the moment I stepped into Crescent Moon Lake, this barrier would automatically open to prevent a second person from entering. Just then, Hua Yunyan appeared. Xiao, I didn't expect you to actually come. She immediately asked, Hua Yunyan, why are you here? She smiled and said, because I came specifically to watch a good show. She immediately used her spiritual power to strike the barrier, causing it to crack, but then the barrier automatically restored itself. Hua Yunyan said, this barrier is just like in the legends. It can automatically restore itself, which suits me just fine. With that, she attacked the barrier. Bai Xiao cried out, Hua Yunyan, what are you doing? This will anger the Tao Tai. When that happens, neither of us will be able to escape. Hua Yunyan laughed loudly and said, don't worry. As soon as the Tao Tai comes out, I'll leave. By then, the barrier will have recovered, and you'll be the only one inside. You'll die alone. Bai Xiao, today is the day you die. She immediately asked, Hua Yunyan, there is no enmity between us. Why do you want to harm me? Hua Yunyan said angrily, you stole the disciple position that originally belonged to me, and you still ask why? How is a bitch like you worthy of having Feng Jinhue as a master? Bai Xiao retorted, I became master's disciple by winning fair and square at the disciple acceptance ceremony. But I didn't see you at the disciple acceptance ceremony. I get it now. You couldn't even win the qualification to participate in the disciple acceptance ceremony. Hua Yunyan shouted angrily, shut up. She attacked the barrier again. Bai Xiao was shocked that, oh no, that's... At this moment, the Tao Tai appeared. Bai Xiao thought in terror. The Tao Tai. Hua Yunyun's attack on the barrier disturbed the Tao Tai, and so the Tao Tai rose to the surface of the lake. The Tao Tai let out a ferocious roar. Seeing the Tao Tai appear, Bai Xiao immediately went ashore, put on her robe to cover her body, then took out the divine chaos heavenly spirit and attacked the Tao Tai. Bai Xiao commanded, "Divine chaos heavenly spirit." The divine chaos heavenly spirit quickly shot towards the Tao Tai, but before the divine chaos heavenly spirit could touch the Tao Tai, it was stomped on by its foot. Then, the Tao Tai turned and whipped its tail. Bai Xiao was stunned, thinking to herself, oh no. The Tao Ye's tail struck towards Bai Xiao. One of its strikes hit Bai Xiao, sending her flying towards the barrier. She spat out a mouthful of blood from the injury. The force of its tail was incredibly terrifying. Hua Yunyun, outside the barrier, saw Bai Xiao get injured and laughed maniacally, saying, "This is so satisfying to watch. Bai Xiao, look at your wretched appearance, just like a clown. Bai Xiao, who told you to steal my position and get close to Feng Jinhua? This is the price you have to pay." The Tao Tai turned around and prepared to attack Bai Xiao again. It aimed straight for Bai Xiao and charged. Seeing this, she thought to herself, this is not good. The Tao Tai has completely lost its reason now. I must find a way to get out of here. Bai Xiao observed the Tao Tai and the surrounding space for a moment, then excitedly exclaimed, "I've got it." Bai Xiao stood up, saw the Tao Tai charging, and said to it, "Sorry, Tao Tai." Bai Xiao once again used the divine chaos heavenly spirit to attack the Tao Ye's eyes. The Tao Ye's eyes were immediately injured, bleeding, causing it to scream in extreme pain. Unable to see where it was going, the Tao Tai charged and attacked the barrier. Its immense power created a crack. Seeing this, Bai Xiao said, "All right." She immediately flew towards the crack. Hua Yunyun, standing outside, saw this and immediately understood Bai Xiao's goal of escaping. She said angrily, "Want to get out? Dream on. Just die. Just die." When Bai Xiao saw the barrier had sealed itself again, she screamed, "No!" Hua Yunyun laughed triumphantly and said, "Bai Xiao, today is the day you die. Just give up. No one will come to save you. I've already arranged for people to stop Feng Jinhua and the others. Just stay inside the barrier and be devoured." Bai Xiao panted, thinking to herself, "Am I going to die? To die alone here? How hateful. I'm not resigned to this. I don't want to die. Royal uncle, master, I clearly promised to come out alive to see them. I'm sorry, I've broken my promise." Just then, Feng Jinhua appeared and asked, Xiao, are you all right?" Bai Xiao was startled and called out, "Master." Bai Xiao cried out to Feng Jinhua, "Master." He said, "Don't be afraid. This master will definitely get you out." Bai Xiao said, "Master, be careful." The Tao Tai prepared to attack the two of them again. Feng Jinhua stepped forward to block a blow. Hua Yunyun, outside, saw this and thought angrily, "That fool Yu Wuchen couldn't even trick Feng Jinhua? How could he give Feng Jinhua the chance to come and save Bai Xiao? Feng Jinhua, even you're probably no match for the Tao Tai. Are you really going to give up your life for that bitch, Bai Xiao?" The Tao Tai struck a blow towards Feng Jinhua, causing him to fall. Bai Xiao called out worriedly, Master, be careful." Feng Jinhua shouted, "White Emperor's sword chant." The sword shot up, breaking a part of the barrier. Feng Jinhua said, Xiao, use your divine chaos heavenly spirit." Bai Xiao immediately used the divine chaos heavenly spirit to wrap around the sword, then pulled Feng Jinhua out of the barrier with her. Bai Xiao said, "Trembling master, we're out. We're safe now." Just then, the Tao Tai broke through the barrier. Bai Xiao screamed in shock. "How can this be? Master, quickly, we have to leave." Feng Jinhua said weakly, Xiao, you go first. This master only has a fraction of his spiritual power left. My body can barely move. Bai Xiao cried, "Don't joke, master. How could I abandon you and leave like this? Even if I die, I will take you with me." Feng Jinhua reassured her, "Don't cause trouble. Xiao, this master is your master. Be good and listen. Don't worry about me anymore." Bai Xiao said, "I can't leave you here. I would rather die with you than live with a guilty conscience for the rest of my life." At this moment, the Tao Tai charged out. Bai Xiao shouted, "Oh no, it's creating a vortex." Feng Jinhua grabbed her hand and said, Xiao, hold my hand tightly." Bai Xiao said, "Master." She thought to herself, "This is not good. It's very difficult to hide our figures in the air. If this continues, Master and I will become the Taoyia's targets. I must think of another way. I've got it. She commanded divine chaos, heavenly spirit, wrap around that tree branch. Then she pulled Feng Jinhue, and the two of them used the line to fall onto a patch of land. The Tao Dai continued to advance. Feng Jinhue said, Xiao Xiao, it seems we, master and disciple, are to be buried here today. Bai Xiao Xiao stood protectively in front of Feng Jinhue. He asked, startled, Xiao Xiao, what are you doing? She replied, it has always been Master protecting me, taking care of me. I know I'm not nearly as strong as Royal Uncle and Master, but even so, as long as I'm alive, as long as I can still stand, I want to use my own strength to protect Master just once. Bai Xiao Xiao took out the divine chaos, heavenly spirit, and said, go. She thought to herself, with such a huge commotion, Grandmaster will surely notice. As long as I can hold on a little longer, Grandmaster will definitely save us. The Tao Tai dodged. Bai Xiao Xiao thought, just a little longer. Then the Tao Tai immediately attacked her, knocking her down into the abyss below. Feng Jinhue also dove down, shouting Xiao Xiao at Yi Jiuchen's location. After hearing his subordinates report about Bai Xiao Xiao's situation, Yi Jiuchen was furious. Stood up, Yi Jiuchen threw down his teacup and questioned his subordinate. What did you say? Bai Xiao Xiao and Feng Jinhue fell off a cliff, their life or death unknown. Yi Jiuchen's subordinate was kneeling on the ground, trembling. He replied, yes. Yi Jiuchen frowned, thinking to himself, Xiao Xiao, you must be safe and sound. At this moment, at the bottom of the abyss, Bai Xiao Xiao was unconscious. Meanwhile, Bai Xiao Xiao dreamed of Feng Jinhue. Bai Xiao Xiao then asked Feng Jinhue, where is this? Master, are you alright? Feng Jinhue was currently injured. Feng Jinhue struggled to reach out and touch Bai Xiao Xiao's face. I'm sorry, Xiao Xiao. Master has to go one step ahead. Dreaming up to this point, Bai Xiao Xiao suddenly jolted awake, crying out,